into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show live here on S3. It's Expresso Morning Show. Good morning, South Africa. Good morning.
Good morning, South Africa. My name is Jamie Donberg with Uncle Tab is in the building.
So good to be back. It's a Thursday morning. We're starting on the right note. We have a whole lot of stuff lined up for you. A whole basket of content lined up just for you. Especially prepared. It's fresh. It's ready to be taken in. And Jamie is looking to change her hair. I think it's about time. So she's brought along Baba Nazir Sampson to share some color options. I know, I think you'd be doing just fine with that hair.
Thank you so much, Uncle Dabsy. But of course, it is all up to you at home to choose which color I would choose. We're going to give you the option a bit later on, so stick around for that. And then another person who is color crazy is Grant Hines, and he has brought along hairstylist Salome de Wet to chat about what to look for in environmentally friendly hair products. So it's all about the hair today. We are, changing up the game today.
It's going to be all the excitement. I'm really keen to see how much more hair we can see Carl Wasty spotting on the sides. Carl Wasty, tasty. What have you got in store for us?
Uncle Tabsy Wabsy! Sure, I missed you, my friend. So good to see your face. And you, Jamie Lee, I'm thinking electric tangerine as a color. That might be fantastic. But as mentioned, my name is Carl Wasty. It's nice to see you this morning, even though I can't really see you, but I'm imagining you right now waking up so fresh and ready to go. We are going to give you a little journey into the mysterious side of one of the best animals on the planet, cats. I love cats so much. I'm a little allergic, but it doesn't matter because I love cats. They just got this thing. And also, if you saw that new song called I Lug Cat, they've even inspired a generation of music, which is interesting. So if you have any questions around your little bundles of fur, your cats, then please let us know on the Expresso Facebook page. We'd love to answer them for you. And that song is going to get stuck in your head now if you go listen to it on YouTube as we speak from the local group called The Kiffness. It's going to go and just replay and replay. Either way, let us know exactly what your questions are around cats, and we'll sort you out with all the information that you require. As we get on to some other information that you require this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, it is some news, so do stand by.
Thank you, Wasty. And I'll start with national headlines. South Africa has recorded almost 17,500 new COVID-19 cases, the highest number of the daily infections as the country is grappled by a third wave. A further 166 coronavirus-related deaths have been reported, pushing the national death toll to 59,258. The majority of the new cases were in Gauteng, which accounts for 62% of the infections, followed in the Western Cape with 10%. Meanwhile, Western Cape Premier Alan Winde has said the provincial government was currently in talks with at least 3 different vaccine manufacturers to secure its own vaccines for residents. And 7 soldiers appeared in the Musina Magistrates Court yesterday for alleged corruption at Beitbridge border post. They stand accused of aiding a vehicle theft syndicate to smuggle vehicles across the border. The Hawks and the SANDF made 6 arrests on Monday after a string of cross-border crimes. A 7th soldier later handed himself over. The soldiers, aged 30 to 51, were deployed at the border post between 2017 and 2019 and allegedly demanded 15,000 rand per vehicle to cross over, which was then shared among themselves. Moving to news abroad, Sudan has asked the UN Security Council to discuss a dispute over the giant dam being built by Ethiopia on the Blue Nile. Ethiopia is pinning its hopes on economic development on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Egypt and Sudan are concerned about it and seek a binding agreement on the filling and operation of the dam. Sudan has said the filling of the dam poses a threat to regional and international peace and security. Egypt relies on the Nile River for some 90% of its fresh water. And staying with news abroad, Hong Kong's largest pro-democracy paper, Apple Daily, has announced its closure in what is viewed as a blow to media freedom in the city. The digital version of the 26-year-old paper will no longer be updated after midnight. The tabloid's offices were raided last week over allegations that several reports had breached a controversial national security law. Police detained the chief editor and 5 other executives. Company-linked arrests were also frozen. UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said the paper's closure was, and I quote, a chilling blow to freedom of expression in Hong Kong. And now, some wonderful news from the land of the rising sun. The first panda birth at Tokyo's Uno Zoo in 4 years was announced yesterday. Giant panda Shin Shin gave birth to twins, the news of which sent share prices of restaurants in the vicinity of the zoo soaring. Pandas play a major role in Japan's tourism economy, and share prices rose as investors were encouraged by the possibility of many more zoo visitors. An overly excited zoo director was beside himself for words, especially so because it was the first time panda twins had been born at Uno Zoo. Giant pandas are notoriously difficult to breed in both the wild and captivity. Only a few thousand of them remain, and conservationists classify them as vulnerable. Also, giant pandas rarely take care of 2 cubs at the same time, so the zoo staff decided to place one of them in an incubator. They will regularly swap in order to give both the experience of natural feeding. The staff suspected 15-year-old Shin Shin could be pregnant after she mated with her partner Riri in March. Well, on that happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Here's a first look at your sport.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Let's start with rugby this morning. The Golden Lions recorded a 38-32 victory over Western Province at the Emirates Airline Park in a midweek Currie Cup clash last night. The Lions were handed 2 yellow cards in quick succession with just 10 minutes to go, but did enough to win the match in the end. Currie Cup action will continue tomorrow with the Bulls up against the Pumas. That one's at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, the Griquas host the Cheetahs at 1 p.m. Staying with rugby, the Junior Boks beat Argentina 33-26 in their under-20 International Series clash in Stellenbosch to remain unbeaten in the competition so far. Fly half Jordan Hendricks kicking 18 points, and wing Canan Moody scored 2 superb tries to guide South Africa to a well-deserved victory in wet conditions. And other results from yesterday, Uruguay scored 3 tries to beat Georgia 20-15. On to cricket. New Zealand were crowned winners of the inaugural ICC World Test Championships. That was after beating India by 8 wickets on the reserve 6th day at the Ageas Bowl in Southampton. The Black Caps was set 139 runs to win from just 53 overs and was after rolling India for 170. New Zealand finished on 140 for 2, reaching their target in 45.5 overs. On winning, Kiwi skipper Kane Williamson said it was a very special feeling and paid tribute to a formidable Indian side. Then on to football. Cristiano Ronaldo equalled the all-time international goal-scoring record by Ali Dai as defending European champions Portugal drew 2-2 against world champions France in a thriller in their Euro 2020 encounter last night. Both Portugal and France have now advanced to the last 16, along with Germany, who played out to a 2-2 draw against Hungary. And then Spain thrashed Slovakia 5-0 earlier in the fixture of the evening. So Euro 2020 action will continue tomorrow, and we'll obviously keep you updated. But that's where we leave or on Saturday rather, but that's where we keep our sports headlines for now. Let's get into the weather.
And of course, we kick off with news on the fires that are raging in the Titicaca, about which we reported earlier this week. Now, the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment has said that efforts to suppress the raging wildfires in the Coldstream and Kumansbos areas of Titicaca were in full swing. Now, thus far, more than 2,400 hectares of commercial plantations and natural veldt have been destroyed. More than 150 firefighters from the department, together with teams from other organizations, have been battling to quell the fires. The department said 2 working on fire UE helicopters and 1 fixed-wing spotter plane had flown 31 hours, providing aerial firefighting services in support of ground crews. Now, in preparation for the winter fire season, close to 400 firefighters in the eastern region underwent their annual yellow card training camps, which ensured that they were fully fit and ready for the fire season. And then, of course, while we love our local viewers, we also have a growing international audience. Tune in via YouTube and the Africa channel that we enjoy interacting with. And this morning, we are sending greetings to any viewers watching from Salem, Oregon. Now, it is the capital city of the U.S. state of Oregon, and rain is heaviest in late fall and throughout winter, and almost all of the annual precipitation falls between October and May. Excessive heat warnings have been issued for the area. However, temperatures should be coming down towards the weekend. Today, you can still expect warm conditions, plenty of sun, and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. Now, we love featuring the gorgeous sunrise images we receive from our viewers. So to start this part of the morning off, we have this gorgeous view overlooking the ocean shared by Joey Peterson from Umhlanga. Our second photo of the morning was shared by long-standing superfan Josephine Pickstone, who took this beautiful photo from the top of Oudtshoorn overlooking Cape Town. And again, we encourage you, if you would like to see your photo featured during one of our sunrise segments, all you have to do is head on over to the Expresso Facebook page to share your photo with us. And who knows, you might get a young feature. But right now, let's have a first look at the temperatures for today. Starting off with Polokwane, your low is 5, peaking at 21 today. If you do find yourself in Umbombela, expect a range of 10 to 28. For you, Pretoria, it is a minimum of 7, peaking at 20. And then Johannesburg coming through with a low of 7 and a high of 18. Mahikeng, 5, 22. Klerksdorp, for you, it is 4, 21. And then Kimberley ranges from 5 to 22 today. Bloemfontein, for you, it is 1, 21. And then Richards Bay, you can expect a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 24. Pietermaritzburg, if you're out and about, do expect a range of 7 to 20, and then South Africa's playground at Durban ranges from 15 to 22. Mthatha expects some rain coming your way with a 58% chance of rain, with a low of 8, peaking at 16, and then East London coming through with a low of 14 and a high of 17. Cradock, 3, 17. Becha, for you, it is 10 and 19, and then George, partly cloudy conditions ranging from 8 to 15. The mother city, Cape Town, can expect a low of 8 with a maximum of 16. For you, Worcester, it is 5, 16. Sutherland, 1, 11. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington with a low of 8, peaking at 24. Wherever you find yourself on this Thursday, happy Klein Vrydag to all of you.
It is a Klein Vrydag indeed. Thank you, Jamie. Well, I am in the beauty room because I feel like I just need to talk through this outfit I'm wearing today. Now, whenever we have our fashion and beauty editor, Knox Mafu, in studio, she always says when it comes to winter, it's all about the layering. And I feel like I followed her advice really, really well today. So I'm wearing this buttoned up white cotton shirt, and I've paired it with this black and white baby doll dress that's very airy, it's flowy, it's flirty, it's fun. And of course, it is also made with a really nice fabric, which is a viscose cotton blend, really giving it that soft playfulness to it. And the best part is, not only am I layering it with a long sleeve underneath, you can even pair it with a polo neck. And when it comes to the shoes, you can have fun with it. You can pair with some booties like I did, or even some fun sneakers and some funky socks to really just play around with the look. So there you go. I thought I would just share some of Knox Mafu's wonderful tips with you, and I think I did her proud today. Well, if you have some layering options, or perhaps that's something you're thinking of adding to your wardrobe today, you can always share your look with us, and don't forget to post those pictures on our Expresso Facebook page. And of course, this look can be bought at Woolworths. You can shop safely in store, on the app, or on their website.
Oh, you can make my day.
The rich taste that says you've arrived. Uyigakara. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money, or a bank that takes your money seriously?
feel good breakfast show.
There is indeed a glass and a half in every one of us. Now, languages form an important, vital role in our lives as they are inclusive of our different cultures and our identities. They speak to who we really are. An African language is not just a series of words, but includes certain African nuances. Because of this, it gives us a sense of belonging. It's vital when it comes to us, and our identity and our culture, I think.
I think language ties us together.
Absolutely. Now, just by translating just one word a day with Cadbury Dairy Milk, you can help others feel like they belong and also co-author a children's library full of African language storybooks with hashtag in our own words. Now, join us and be a part of the change with today's word, and today's word is sun.
Sun, like the sun.
Like
Yeah.
the sun?
Like sunrise.
Yeah.
So, in your mother tongue, what is sun?
In my mother tongue of Xitsonga,
Yes.
Diambu.
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 Diambu, yeah.
In Afrikaans, I know sun is Dison.
Dison. And in your language, Graham?
Sun.
Oh.
But with you.
With the, okay, cool. But you got sons and sons. But tell us what this word is translated into this week's African language, which is Venda. We're taking a look at Venda. Sun, actually, in Chivenda is duva.
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 So VHA is typically pronounced va, like va, duva.
Va.
Like Maduva, the musician. Of course, Chivenda is a Bantu language and an official language of South Africa. A lovely language as well. If you watch Mubango,
It's like a very nuanced language. Lots of little cuppies and
it's
little
like the
accents
French
and-
of South Africa.
Yeah.
It's a very sexy language. It's mainly spoken by the Venda people in the northern part of South Africa's Limpopo province, Vavenda, as well as some Lemba people out in Zimbabwe. Broad reach, this language.
Very beautiful.
So translate a word a day and co-author that children's library in each language. We've spoken all about it, so that every story ends nge jabulo njalo. Visit cadbury.co.za to create storybooks. Hashtag
In our
in
own
our own words.
Yes. Happily ever after. Is that what it means? Happily ever after. Forever happy.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, well, listen, in our own words, we want to welcome singer and songwriter Carla Conrad, who was more than just surrounding herself with music. It was always her passion, and despite that, also to make her own music. And her songs are unapologetically, it's raw, it's quirky, but still so honest and deep. Now, Carla joins us this morning, and she shows her versatility through her music, performing everything from soft rock to folk pop, and also some adult contemporary genres, just to name some of it. And this morning, this recording artist, she joins us in studio to talk about her music, her journey, and of course, her latest EP. Can we give her a warm Expresso welcome?
Yes, Carla! Carla! Yes. So I just love your name, you know, because it's like Carl with the A at the end.
Yeah.
It's a, yeah. It's like the, well, welcome. Okay, so Zoe, the rumor has it that you've been waiting for this moment for like 11 years, right?
11 years? Yes.
It's happening right
It's
now.
happening.
It's right. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's been 11 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you are here, we'd love to get into your musical journey. I want to start it off. You know, everybody's got that moment where you're thinking, hey, I got a voice, and somebody pushes you that way and says, hey, you know what? Step out of the bathroom with us singing and do something with it. Who is that person for you?
Me. Like,
Yes!
yeah.
The mirror is a powerful thing, isn't it?
I had this passion and, eventually I got the courage to do it, so.
That's great.
And what was that moment for you when you realized, hang on, I want to now let people hear my voice?
I think it was when I was 19, like I was singing and writing at home and my parents didn't actually know this is what I do. And then I went to study fashion design, and every day I'd be writing songs. Then Taylor Swift was on TV.
I'm a big Tay-Tay fan.
Tay-Tay was on Ellen. And I just saw this beauty and innocence and just this light. And that was the moment, it's like, okay, I'm telling my parents I'm going to do it. And that was my moment when I'm 19, yeah.
You're a Swiftie. You're a proper fan.
You know what? We are joined in Swifties. And you know what? Why I always love some of Taylor's songs is because I might feel those emotions and I'm not very good at articulating it. And songwriters like yourself and like Taylor, you guys put it into words, and you can express our emotions through music, and that's how we relate to your music. But I also know you've had a very interesting and vocal health journey that you've been sharing, being diagnosed with fibromyalgia, yes, as well as being very vocal about dealing with anxiety and depression. And I think the time we're in right now, a lot of people are battling with things that's beyond their own control. What was that moment for you when you realized this is something I need to be vocal about?
Sure, it was actually about a week ago where I realized I had a radio interview and something in me just said it's time to speak up about the fibromyalgia.
Yes.
Because it's so much part of who I am in a beautiful way. It taught me to befriend my brokenness, and because I had this struggle with depression 3 years ago, really bad, and I was going to give up singing. If I didn't get help and if I didn't get the right resources and people along the way, I don't think I'd be here right now. So, like, I know we're in this weird time in life, and maybe I'm going to be that person for someone to be just like, hey, there's a little light at the dark tunnel. Like, yeah, there's it. Yeah.
Wow. It's really big, and it's bold, and it's courageous, because at this time when you're dealing with everything else around you, you still managed to actually pick yourself up and say, I'm going to do this. And you said like a week ago, and now you are here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a quick turnaround.
That is a quick one.
But it's cool because you've also been working on some music as well. So just a little bit about your EP, because I'm sure this is just something that you've been very excited about as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I should say yeah like that more often, eh? Yeah, it works there. So, well, I mean, in that case, congratulations. EP, hooray!
Yeah.
Right, Anki? I knew it would work. Yes. But how's it been? But I mean, how was it to actually release an EP and actually just bring it to the fore?
Sure. Like, by the time I had to actually stop myself because I was a bit over it. Recorded it last year in lockdown, saved for it for 2 years. So the process and the notions and everything was done. And then when we released it, I was just like, hang on a minute. Like, it was 2 years of preparation, songs, workshopping up and down Joburg. I was a flight attendant, and it's like, the process, the journey was literally just like, wow. So each song for me, I can remember we were in studio, and obviously we had the lockdown restrictions, and I think it made it all the more special.
Definitely, it definitely makes it more special. And when people hear your EP for the first time today, what are you hoping they'll take from some of the songs that you've written?
I think something that I took from Bono, from U2, is that he said, it doesn't have to always be super spiritual, super something to mean something. You just speaking your truth and singing your truth is enough to shake another person and to relate, like you said. If someone can just hear a song and it just makes them feel like, okay, cool, I connect. It brings them present in a moment where they're embraced, then that's like...
Job well done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're going to feel. I mean, we're going to feel that a little later, I can tell you that much, because Carla will be performing for you right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and, of course, 2 original songs from the EP, as well as a little something from Post Malone, a little postie for your post toasties here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show with Carla Conrad, so do enjoy that. And stick around, you're live on S3.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Let's get into the sustainability chat right now that we love here on the show. When we think of sustainability, we often think maybe recycling or buying more environmentally friendly products or using less energy, all great, but sustainability should go beyond these material things. It's also about people.
No, for sure. Now, Nespresso's AAA sustainability program is about creating a more sustainable future all around. Let's take a look at it.
Rĩu nĩ tũthiĩte maita matatũ morĩa tũronaga production ĩrĩ igũrũ rĩu times 3 of the production.
Ya hoy en día sí, ya todos sabemos si producimos bueno, sabemos que vamos a vender bueno. Entonces ya uno se va teniendo más cultura y va haciendo las cosas mejores.
Con estos proyectos estamos volviendo muchos años atrás para poder atraer muchos animales y poder combatir el medio ambiente que actualmente se vive. Con estos árboles podremos empezar de nuevo.
Do you know what is evident with that is really just, again, it's not about the material things, but it really is about the family, the people, the communities that it's helping as well.
It's this 360-degree approach, and we've obviously been able to walk this journey with Nespresso for a while now, but the fact that they invest in the farmer, so they create a different mindset within that culture, but they invest in the land, they invest in the cultivation, they invest in the forestry around it, the ecology, the economy, everything to do with that full circle. And then on the flip side, obviously look at their own business practice and trying to achieve their own carbon neutrality. It really is. It's an holistic approach that is lighting the way. Absolutely brilliant. But you can hopefully let that sink in and inspire you. We'll see you in a second.
Care is bringing passion to everything you do.
Proving good taste and good values go hand in hand.
Care is what goes into every single cup of Nespresso.
Made with care. Hecho con cuidado.
Nespresso. What else?
I love it all. But when it comes to baking, okay, the secret ingredient is love. Love.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy, the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh yes, made with love by Clover. It really is all about love. And nothing says home quite like the smell of freshly baked cookies. We all know this, it's a fact. Now, using mayo in a sweet rendition may seem odd, right? It seems unusual, but it makes total sense. With this best kept secret edition, our Clover Classic Mayo Cookies, you are going to get the same result without the use of butter and eggs. Great news if you're trying to get away or stay away from butter and eggs. And Michaela shows us the way to do all of this. Michaela, when you come through, I know it's always a good time.
Or a flop, one of the two.
No, never a flop. A flop that we save very elegantly, always.
Yeah,
So
just make it look
doing?
good.
What are we doing?
So today we're making some sweet butter style cookies
With hot
using
butter.
our Clover Classic mayonnaise.
You're going to have to tell me how you first of all came up with that idea and how you're able to keep it the same as if we were using butter and eggs.
So the best part about using mayonnaise in a recipe is that it actually contains everything that you need for baking. It has like large quantities of oil,
Yeah.
and it has your eggs already all in one compact package.
I love
So
that.
it makes everything great. So if you could start off for me
Okay,
by
cool.
just combining all the dry ingredients together. We have some salt and some bicarb
So
and just some flour.
Some bicarb over here going into the flour, and then you got some salt going
So I'm
into
literally the worst when it
flour.
comes to measurements and stuff.
Okay, so can I ask you how much you've measured here, or should I not ask you that?
But when it comes to containers of stuff,
Yeah.
my mind works like this. So
Okay.
this is 750 mils.
Yeah.
If I divide that by 1 cup, which is 250, I just need 1/3 of this. So I usually just eyeball it.
Well, I'll tell you this, you are speaking to the wrong person, because when you started mentioning the numbers, you lost me at 1 cup. I said, okay, she's going with the numbers, she's going with the numbers. Okay, cool. So what are you mixing this?
So in here, I have some sugar and the mayonnaise. We're using the tangless one today. Isn't that great that they come with
love it.
3 different kinds of tanginess?
It's the best thing Clover could have done. The thing is, Clover Classic Mayo is available in 3 levels of tanginess, which you're seeing. One is what we're using today, which is the mild one. And then if you are into, say, a medium, then you get medium 2, and then you get strong 3. And for this particular recipe, we're using level 1, which is mild. It's mild, but you're not compromising on the creamy taste, which is the fantastic thing. Their ability to combine all of that and bring it together. Magic, magic.
So literally, I've just taken the mayonnaise, thrown in some vanilla essence. You've mixed the dry ingredients.
It's emulsified.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that the word? Mixed. It's mixed.
It's mixed.
It's mixed.
We're just combining it in our flour. How quick was that, though? It literally took like 2 minutes. We were babbling on in between that. So
Are you
like
telling me that there's nothing more to do?
This
after
is
all of
literally
that?
it.
Is this what you're trying to create at the end of it all?
And then once we've combined everything, we
Yeah.
get that. So if you could take this along.
Yes.
Well, I pretend to continue mixing this.
Yeah. What must I pretend to do?
So this we've had chilling for a while, so it's actually quite a stable mixture.
Like pap, yeah.
Yes. I'm wondering if you could use your hands for that.
No, you probably could. I washed them
Or-
thoroughly.
You could use a spoon of sorts.
Okay, cool.
And
Use that
just
one.
take a spoon of each and
Yeah.
plop it onto a well-greased baking sheet.
Has to be well greased, guys. Please tell them why it has to be well greased. I can't stress this enough. Please listen to this message. Why has it got to be well greased?
Otherwise, if you're not using a well-greased sheet, it's going to stick, and then you're going to be eating paper later on.
Do you like paper cookies? Do you? Are those the cookies you like? No, you don't.
If it's a real push and you're like really desperate, then maybe.
I love this. Well, listen, we've made this super easy for you at home. If you want the recipe and you want to bake along, and anyone can do this, as you can see, go on our website. It's expressoshow.com. We've got the recipe there, yes, but you've got a list of all the ingredients you're going to need. I mean, as you've seen, very few ingredients you're going to need to bring this one to life. Michaela,
So last
we're going to shape
step.
them.
You will take your fork.
Yeah, to shape them.
And smash them on down.
Like this.
Exactly.
Look at that.
So you, I mean, you can
love
spread it a
that
little bit
really
more
anyone
out.
can do
Perfect.
this. Anybody can do this.
And then
Cookies
once you're
for dummies.
done doing that, you take some caster sugar and you sprinkle it on the top, just so it gives it a little bit of a fun feel.
And flair, right?
And the best part about this recipe, you can literally substitute any flavor you'd like into it. So if you like a bit of a citrusy vibe, you could add some zest to it. You could add chocolate chips. You could add hundreds and thousands. You could add Astros if you really wanted to be like a
You see,
vibe.
now, you are the girl that speaks the same language as me. Astros, add those Astros
Or
on.
all of them.
Or add every single one of those things in one and really make it, say it with me, it's an extravaganza. Say it with me.
Extravaganza.
Oh yes, oh yes. That's what they look like when it's all done.
Are you
Let's
going
head
to
on
eat one?
over. I'm going to have to. Somebody has to, and there are no volunteers around here. It's just me, really. Some milk in the mix, I'll tell you now, Michaela. How soft?
I know. And it has quite a little bit of a chew to it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what you want in a cookie. This is what you want in a cookie. Go on our website, make it, expressoshow.com. Happy eating, everybody.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy, the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Now, they say that the change is as good as a holiday, and trust me, we can all do with a little bit of a holiday as we approach the mid-year. And, of course, it's also next week. In fact, it's Friday. Now, in fact, not next week. Tomorrow it's Friday, but next week it's halfway through the year, and we think it is also a good time for us to really just enjoy a mini holiday of our own. Now, our very own presenter, Jamie Lee Domberg, she has volunteered herself a very big change, and she's involving you, our beloved viewers, as this morning you get to decide which color between purple or pink she will be dyeing her hair on the show today. And the man who will be doing the deed is her barber, Nazir Sampson from Brushed by Nazir. Good morning. It's good to have the both of you here.
Morning. Thank
well,
you.
You are always
Yeah,
here.
I'm always here. I love you.
I know. This is your home, but it's great to have Nazir here because, I mean, how did the relationship between the two of you start?
On the DMs, actually, we have a mutual friend called Riaz, and I always knew about his work because obviously, you know, growing up in the community, people was always like, where can you get the best fade?
Yeah.
So he was the guy who was like, Brushed by Nazir. And then a couple of weeks ago, he literally slid into the DMs. He's like, I would really like to transform your hair, giving you the platinum look. So remember when I had the platinum look with a bit of...
yes, and it looks stunning.
He created all of that.
Ah, so you're the man behind it. And I love talking to people that's got their own businesses, that started it from home, and that you started your at-home services in 2018. Where did your passion for, you know, being a barber, working with hair come from?
So it started at a young age, actually. My mom's in the industry as well. So I always wanted to be different and always felt like there's a different need. And when I established my business, I always felt like people don't have enough time in their day to come and sit in a barber and then I thought, wow, why don't I just, you know, create an at-home service where it's convenient for people at their time? So basically that is what I established, and yeah.
So you go to their homes and
Yes.
make life easier for
Yes.
them, which is different. Now, when it comes to that creating that perfect fade, I can imagine a lot of time is involved. how long would you say, how long does it take to trim Jamie's hair?
So Jamie's hair is quite short and it's very easy and basic. So it would take me.
You did not say
possible way.
So for me, it would take me anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes to achieve Jamie's look.
Okay, well, I've been loving Jamie's short hair because you went, when I met you, you had longer hair and you took the bold leap and you are rocking the short hair.
Thank you, Mama.
What made you decide to shave it all off when you did?
There's something so liberating about shaving all your hair off. I love just transitioning and I like changing things up a bit. Last year I was rocking a wig, then I had braids, and then I was like, what? Because I train every single day, I needed something that was convenient and that I could just go from training to work that was still classy and still easy. So yeah, the short hair, the bold look, the bald look, it's just my vibe.
And you are rocking it. You're one of the lucky people that can rock any hairstyle, and now we're going to find out if you can rock any hair color. Jamie, why did you decide that our viewers get to choose your hair color? I mean, it's both fun colors, pink and purple.
It is winter and I like to change things up a bit. I feel like I was playing it very safe for the past few months, but I just wanted to have a bit of an edgy feel to it, you know, get out of my comfort zone. So I thought, why don't I let Mzansi decide what color I should go for, pink or blue? It's very much pastel colors, but colors that are in season right now, and I can play around with it. So luckily for me, we have an amazing wardrobe stylist as well, but I also brought in Nazir because he is the expert, so he's going to do the transformation for me.
He is the pro, and I think, you know, our viewers, please head on over to our social media platforms. You can go and vote whether you want to see Jamie's hair pink or purple. You mentioned blue earlier. Is it purple or blue?
Pink and purple.
Pink and purple. Now, Nazir, what does it take to, you know, get someone's hair prepped to be able to add color to it?
So the process that we did was we did a two-step bleaching process in order to create a blank canvas for us to deposit any hair color on there, which will basically just take.
Look at that.
So, yeah. That was like in the middle of the processing, yeah.
I'm always so fascinated. Like, I mean, Grant Hines always has colorful hair. I'm always so fascinated with the process. What is the maintenance for Jamie when she gets her hair
So the maintenance is basically when you do have like blondes, is to use your purple shampoo and your conditioners regularly, basically to get the yellow pigment out of the blondes.
Okay.
And with the color, you basically just have to maintain it very well.
Okay.
You better call Becky with the good hair. Hello.
Now, obviously, our viewers are voting and in charge of the color that gets to go on your head today. Do you have a preference? Do you want to give out a hint, or are you open to any?
Open to anything.
Open to
anything.
Okay, well, to quote Coco Chanel, a girl that's about to change her hair is about to change her life. So why don't we help Jamie Lee Domberg out? Head on over to our social media platforms. Vote. Must she wear pink hair or purple hair? Because by the end of the show, that's going to be the color of her hair.
You know what? I've got the perfect person to ask about hair color over here. Grant Hines, it's so good to have you back in studio, my friend.
You are so good to be here.
So, Jamie Lee's hair color, what are you thinking?
Pink, of course.
Pink. Pink works.
And that anecdote is true, Coco Chanel, for everybody. Change your hair, you change your life. It really is amazing.
So the reason why Grant and I are here is because, you know, more and more people are actually choosing to go the eco-friendly route when it comes to hair products. And this morning we have an incredible hairstylist. In fact, hairstylist to Grant Hines, Salome de Wet, who connects with us to talk about what to look for in environmentally friendly hair products. Salome, goeiemôre, good morning.
Goeiemôre julle. Sorry ek kan nie saam met julle daar wees nie.
It's okay.
But lovely to be with you guys there in spirit.
I have no idea how you look that amazing in the morning. Did you see? And also on a Zoom call. That's crazy. But Salome, I know that you're also the guru when it comes to hair products, and I feel like it's actually about becoming more conscious about what we consume, what we use, and it's a massive movement all over the world. Have you experienced a rise in customers asking for environmentally friendly hair products?
Definitely. It's actually been something that's quite noticeable over the last 2 to 3 years, that more clients are willing to not only pay more for sustainably sourced products, but also coming in and asking, you know, is it recyclable materials? Is it free from parabens and sulfates? Like, they really do come in quite informed clients. And like I said, they're willing to spend a bit more, which is, you have to actually move with this trend. You can't actually go away from it anymore.
Just, Grant, as a consumer of these products, you know, when it comes to actually asking about these environmentally friendly products, etc., what is your driving force behind asking those questions?
Well, I mean, it's a big part of who I am, and having a stylist that's approachable like Salome really helps because she understands the product ranges way more than I would. So I actually appeal to her as the authority and go like, listen, Sols, like I need some help here. So that way it's the best. So chat to your stylist, I think it's really important, and hopefully your stylist is as clued up.
Like Salome, that's why we got you over there. So what are the major concerns with standardized, non-environmentally friendly hair products?
So the biggest problems, or the two main, it's obviously the packaging, the biodegradable packaging, or is it plastic free? But then also in the actual product itself, it's normally more parabens and sulfates that people are quite aware of. Parabens being preservatives in the product, and sulfates being a foaming agent that actually obviously helps the products to lather in the hair.
I'm learning so many things now. I think I need to start this trend. I don't know, like, you know, when you walk in, you're just thinking, you know, that's a standardized product, but you don't think about actually what's behind it, though. What started you questioning what's behind things?
I think it started, I mean, I've been environmentally friendly for a long time, but it started when I started making vegan decisions in my life.
Okay.
So choosing, like, what I'm eating. And then it started going from what I'm eating to, like, what am I putting in my hair, what am I putting on my body, like, what clothes am I wearing? And you realize that there are a lot of decisions that we make that are just subconscious, they're unconscious. And if you're conscious about what you're wearing and what you're eating and what products you have to dye your hair, you start making more ethical decisions for the environment. And then hopefully we can sway society to start moving in a better space, you know?
And I really love that concept as well. We can't just say we're going to accept it the way it is. We as consumers have power to say we want those products to make sure that the way we live, our environment, is protected. So Salome, just from your side, what makes a hair product eco-friendly, and what should people be looking for?
So, first of all, I would say the packaging. There's a lot of some shampoo ranges that are bringing out shampoo bars. So it's basically no plastic, or it's all biodegradable packaging. You can also look, obviously, for not tested on animals. There's that's also an amazing thing, I feel, in products nowadays. And then also free from any products, any chemicals. So no parabens, no sulfates. And sustainably sourced products. There's most products that are coming out now. It's such a massive trend that most products are actually product ranges are spending a little bit more money rather in getting those products more eco-friendly, the final product.
So I think the next big question is, we've got these eco-friendly products out there, and we also have a whole lot of different colors we can go with Grant's hair. So Salome, have you been conjuring up the next plan for Grant's color?
Yes, of course. Grant is booked. I think, aren't you booked next week?
Yeah, we're booked for the first.
Awesome. What's the color? Can you give me the scoop, or do you want to keep it a surprise?
We're going to do a change. So I don't know if we're going to let anything. We're going to do a big reveal.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And I think it's cool because, you know, when it comes to big reveals like that, I love the fact that we have this conversation about how we get to choose these products and what we should be doing. And I think from your side, Grant, it's so commendable for you to ask these questions, because when it comes to consumerism, it's about supply and demand. And if the demand is greater for products to look after our environment, it's going to be better for us.
And our lives have an impact inherently, and we can decide what kind of impact we want to have. And sometimes that it's not necessarily a big concept, it's small decisions that we make throughout our day.
Indeed. Salome, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys. Have a lovely day.
Will do. And I learned so much today. And there you have it, some pro tips on how to make your mane look gorgeous and save the planet at the same time. So massive thanks to Grant and Salome.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's tissue oil and rich body care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso S3. And you know what? Cape Town, it is well known for its many creative spaces and design creatives. And Decorex Cape Town is celebrating them with the 2021 Design Trail, taking visitors on a design journey throughout the mother city. And one of the exciting design destinations is Beaufort in the city bowl of Vredehok. And here to tell us more about the space and what we can expect is co-owner and designer Carla Erasmus. Another Carla on the show today. It's like the Carla day today.
But Carla, such great work. I mean, honestly, it's mind-blowing. You're helping us all rediscover the city. We are discovering new talent while we edit as well.
Yes.
Let's talk about Beaufort. It's all the hype at the moment. What's it all about?
Thank you for having me on the show. So Beaufort is... it was started in 2015 by myself and a friend, Christa Botha. And we're a furniture and product design company that creates smaller collections of bespoke furniture and product that has a strong narrative and a storyline to tell.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And I think for me, it's also like, it's all about the bespoke, the uniqueness that you get to offer from, you know, the smaller places. Not that I'm saying you're small, but I have to say, when I drive through the city and I've spotted the yellow sticker, I know, okay, cool, this is the Decorex Design Trail. How did you get involved with Decorex this year?
We got invited by Decorex to be part of the Design Trail, which was fantastic, just to be included and be part of a collection of other creatives and furniture designers and product designers and manufacturers. So obviously it was an easy yes to say, yes, we would love to be included.
Yes.
And yeah, it's great to have the opportunity.
Yeah, I love that. And I know, what can people expect this year in terms of your exhibition or your setup? What are you guys doing? Anything different?
Well, it's a space that you can come in and actually meet the maker, to see the showroom, to see the furniture and the tactile products, to see the finishes. Because we're an online-based company, most people don't see the finished product, and this is a way to come in, meet me, ask questions, feel comfortable, and hear the narrative and the story.
And I'm one of those people.
That's the whole thing, me as well. I think what I really do like about design, especially when Decorex comes through in this way, is that we do get the opportunity to interact not only with the artists and the designers and the creatives behind the work, but also with the products and the finished product as well. What sort of things will we be able to interact with and get involved with when it comes to Beaufort?
So Beaufort's giving you the opportunity to follow us on our social media handles, and then there's a couple of steps you need to follow, and then you can win one of our products, which is a Wadi side table.
That's how to interact with it.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Listen, I'm here for like the decor. I think I might shift from fashion to decor, and I mean, it's been so incredible to really just have various creatives where you sitting now, Carla, just talking about their involvement with Decorex's Design Trail, and it's been incredible. Have you had many visitors come to Beaufort?
Yes, we've had some visitors seeing the space, and usually we're by appointment, so this gives the opportunity for people to still make an appointment, because we're a small business, and just have that one-on-one conversation with us. And it's been great to see the public come in and enjoy the space.
Oh, that's amazing.
And Carla is always on standby to chat to you. Honestly, she'll answer any of your design questions, but also lead you in the perfect direction as well. The design is happening, it's on, it's all about rediscovering the city, but also discovering that brand new talent.
That's right. So be sure not to miss out on the Decorex Design Trail. You can just visit their website. That is decorex.co.za. Visit it, get informed, get all of the information you need, and let's support our local designers, our small creatives, and really just enjoy their hard work and really just get inspired.
Thanks, Carla.
Thank you.
Vigilance And service. What does that really mean? It is the official international life-saving motto. Life-saving originated in Australia, believe it or not, way back in 1906 in response to a series of local drownings in Sydney. Then volunteer groups were trained in life-saving methods, then patrolled the beaches looking after public safety.
And I think it's important for us to have this conversation and bring it home to South Africa, because life-saving first emerged in Durban after the popularity of swimming began to rise and more swimmers had a bit of trouble in the water. And this is a precursor to what will be an epic live crossing to Clifton tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be spectacular. Ryder and myself obviously have been able to look at this, from a DHL perspective, their involvement in rugby and what they do to back sport, and the fact that life-saving has become an internationally recognised sport, and South Africa is now getting that shot in the arm that it needs to move forward and be truly competitive. But it all boils down to saving lives. And I think the surfers riding the famous Durban waves began to intervene, making them the first surf lifesavers in South Africa. They formed squads to patrol the beaches, and as the ocean men then went about their services, they began to use their spare time on the beach, as competitive people do, to improve their skills by training. And these sessions then naturally evolved into competition amongst peers.
And just to continue, today lifesaving is the only sport that has a humanitarian role, in that lifeguards need to complete 20 hours of voluntary duty service to compete in the sport. And when I say humanitarian, the great thing is that even the Queen can give out awards to certain lifesavers. I mean, it's got that prestige along with it as well.
Completely. And the fact that, yes, they are training to save lives, but it's also, for me, it's become, from what I've seen, and this is very much channeled through my other bay. Don't get jealous now.
I am a bit, but I'll be okay.
I don't know who's my side bay, but looking at the level of physicality that Ryler's employed to become the best, and literally is the best at what he does in the world.
He is, yeah.
He's proven that, how much nuance there is involved in the sport, how he'll train one muscle group to give him an extra second or split second in a particular discipline. It's amazing to me. So I love the fact now that South African life-saving is getting the support that they are. And
it's great because also there's some great backing. As mentioned, DHL is involved as well. So we're just very, very happy to bring life-saving to the fore. Also, just put a massive spotlight on it. And tomorrow, be sure to tune in, because we're going to be crossing live to Clifton to get some more life-saving tips, tricks, who knows, probably fitness with Ryle.
Yeah, undoubtedly, there's going to be dancing, and it's going to be wet. In the water, and out of the water, because it's going to be a rainy day. There's no one's going to be shirtless.
Topless.
Okay, there's probably going to be a lot of speedos running around.
Speedos, topless, life-saving. It's all happening tomorrow. Don't miss it. Right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here in S3.
The time now is just 7 o'clock. Time to have a second look at those news headlines. Starting with your national news, the Special Investigating Unit, the SIU, has been granted a preservation order to freeze 22 million rand in a bank account linked to Digital Vibes. SIU spokesperson Kaiser Kanyago said the unit would also seek an order against Digital Vibes and other relevant entities and individuals to pay back all financial losses suffered by the state. Now, earlier this month, President Cyril Ramaphosa placed Health Minister Zweli Mkhize on special leave after being implicated in awarding a 150 million rand contract of the Department of Health to Digital Vibes. And then staying with local news as well, South Africa has recorded almost 17,500 new COVID-19 cases, the highest number of daily infections yet, as the country is gripped by a third wave. A further 166 coronavirus-related deaths have been reported, pushing the national death toll to 59,258. Now, the majority of new cases were in Gauteng, with 62% of infections, followed by the Western Cape with 10%. Now, meanwhile, Western Cape Premier Alan Winde has said the provincial government was currently in talks with at least 3 different vaccine manufacturers to secure its own vaccines for residents. Then looking to news further abroad, by the end of August, the highly contagious Delta variant of the new coronavirus is expected to account for 90% of the new COVID-19 cases in the European Union. Now, this according to the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control. The warning by the health agency yesterday echoed a similar statement by the World Health Organization last week that the variant, first identified in India, was becoming dominant globally. It's estimated that the Delta variant is 40 to 60% more contagious than the Alpha variant first discovered in the UK. Sudan has asked the UN Security Council to discuss a dispute over the giant dam being built by Ethiopia on the Blue Nile. Now, Ethiopia is pinning its hopes of economic development on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Egypt and Sudan are concerned about it and seek a binding agreement on its filling and operation. Sudan has said the unilateral filling of the dam poses a threat to regional and international peace and security, and Egypt relies on the Nile River for some 90% of its fresh water. And the next news from the world of entertainment that will sadden so many people around the world. Now, world-famous singer Elton John has announced a final tour called Farewell Yellow Brick Road, 3.5 years after his Farewell Yellow Brick Road, the final tour. Now, in a statement, John said, and I quote, "The shows that I announced today will be my final tour dates ever in North America and Europe. I'm going to go out in the biggest possible way, performing at my very best with the most spectacular production I've ever had, playing in places that have meant so much to me throughout my career," close quote. Now, the singer said the tour would head across Europe, North America, Australia and New Zealand next year. It will be in Germany on September the 1st and head across North America from January to April 2022. The final stretch will wrap in November at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, and the end of the tour will come 5 years after its opening date in Allentown, Pennsylvania on September the 8th, 2018. And I wish that it came to South Africa. But on that note, that is where I leave your 7 a.m. news headlines. Here is G with a look at the sports.
Some midweek rugby action on offer. Let's start here in South Africa. The Golden Lions recorded a 38-32 victory over Western Province at the Emirates Airline Park in a midweek Currie Cup clash last night. The Lions were handed 2 yellow cards in quick succession with just 10 minutes to go, but did enough to win the match in the end. So Currie Cup action will continue tomorrow with the Bulls up against the Pumas. That one's at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, the Griquas host the Cheetahs at 1 p.m. On to international rugby. The Junior Boks beat Argentina 33-26 in the Under-20 International Series in Stellenbosch to remain unbeaten in the competition. Fly-off Jordan Hendricks kicked 18 points, and then wing Kanan Moody scored 2 superb tries to guide South Africa to a well-deserved victory in wet conditions. And other results from yesterday, Uruguay scored 3 tries to beat Georgia 2015. Then on to cricket. New Zealand were crowned winners of the inaugural ICC World Test Championship. That was after beating India by 8 wickets on the reserve 6th day at the Ageas Bowl in Southampton. The Black Caps were set 139 runs to win from 53 overs after rolling India for 170. New Zealand finishing on 140 for 2, reaching their target in 45.5 overs. On winning, Kiwi skipper Kane Williamson said it was a very special feeling and did also pay tribute to a formidable India side. Then on to football. Cristiano Ronaldo equaled the all-time international goal-scoring record by Ali Dai as defending European champions Portugal drew 2-2 against world champions France in their Euro 2020 clash last night. Both Portugal and France have now advanced to the last 16, along with Germany, who played out to a 2-2 draw against Hungary, and then Spain thrashed Slovakia 5-0 in the earlier fixture last night. The Euro 2020 action will continue on Saturday, but we'll keep you updated and cover more of that in our sports preview tomorrow. Right now, let's see what the weather has in store for us today.
Thank you, G-Man. Before we get into the weather and tell you all about the eThekwini municipality's water and sewage infrastructure and the levy imposed, here's a question. Are you folks down in the Garden Province keen on some sardine action this weekend? Yes? No? Well, the thing is, the little silver fishes are expected to arrive in Durban this weekend. Tons of them. So you want to get out there and catch them. Seasoned Durban anglers said that there were large shoals passing Scottsboro yesterday, and this should continue for the next few days. Something to see there. It's expected there will be stacks of sardine action on the Durban beachfront this weekend, as well as along the entire coastline. It's going to be beautiful. Enjoy it. And now on to more serious matters. The eThekwini municipality has introduced a water and sewage infrastructure levy, which will come into effect on the 1st of July. Now, the municipality plans to raise 1 billion rand from Durban's taxpayers over the next 3 years to upgrade outdated water and sewage infrastructure It's a big project, and the levy is R1.50 per kiloliter of water consumed, and the same amount per kiloliter of sewage. And now, while we love our local viewers, we also do love our growing international audience tuned in via YouTube as well as the Africa channel that we enjoy interacting with. This morning, we're sending greetings to any viewers watching from Gaborone out in Botswana, the capital and largest city of Botswana. Dumelang Botswana. Gaborone is the economic capital as well as the government capital, as well as headquarters to numerous companies and the Botswana Stock Exchange. Gaborone has a hot, semi-arid climate, and most of the year is very sunny, with summers usually very hot and very cool nights. And today will be a beautiful day with plenty of sunshine, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius out in Botswana's Gaborone. Now, bringing it back to South Africa, we have received the following beautiful images, sunrise images from Lionel Gordon from Plettenberg Bay. Take a look at that. Oh, a stunning view overlooking the ocean as the sun casts a pink hue in the distance. Yes, love it. Heading a little further up the coast, we share this bright yellow photo shared with us by Vincent Lutuli from Durban, the warmest place to be. Thank you so much to all of our viewers who do take the time to share their sunrise views with us. We love seeing them. If you want to be just like them, get your photo through to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Use that hashtag Expresso Show. Put a photo there as well as your name and where you're from so we can give you a shout out. And now we take a look at those temperatures across the country. We start off with the sunny Polokwane. Today, 5 is your low, reaching a high of 21. Sunny times for Mbombela as well. You start off at 10 today, reaching a maximum of 28. If you are out in the capital city of South Africa, Pretoria, 7 is your low, reaching a high of 20, with times of sun out in Johannesburg today, 7, reaching a maximum of 18. Mahikeng, Bokone, Buphirima, 5, that's your low, reaching a high of 22, with Klerksdorp at 4 minimum, reaching a maximum of 21 degrees. 1% chance of rain for Kimberley, 5 and 22, with Bloemfontein, sun and clouds today, 1, that's your low, reaching highs of 21, with Richards Bay coming in at 13 minimum, reaching a maximum of 24. In Pietermaritzburg today, nice and sunny, 7, reaching a high of 20, with a 25% chance of rain for South Africa's playground. That's Durban, 15, that's your low, reaching a high of 22. Hey, expect some rain out in Mthatha today, 8, that's your low, reaching a high of 16. Get your umbrellas out, and if you are in East London, you are going to need that raincoat as well as umbrella. 60% chance of rain, 14, that's your low, reaching a high of 17, with Craddock coming in at 3 and 17. Might rain in Gqeberha as well today. Sun and clouds for 10 is your low, reaching a high of 19, with a 25% chance of rain for George, 8 and 15. The mother city, Cape Town's a bit clear today, 18, rather 8, not 18, 8. That's your low, reaching a high of 16, with Worcester at 5 and 16. Sutherland, you start off with a cold 1, reaching a high of 11, with Uppington coming in at 8. That's your minimum, reaching a maximum of 24 degrees. It's rainy in most parts of the country, but I'm sure you're going to make it a nice, warm, cuddly, feel-good type of day. Ladies, what's happening?
Well, I can tell you what's happening, Tubbsy. We need to find out what colour you are voting to have Jamie Lee Domberg's hair coloured by the end of the show. Your options are pink or purple. And let's take a look at what they are saying on social media.
I'm very excited to see what they're saying.
Yeah. Do you have a preference? This is the time to sway the vote.
Pink. I'm actually leaning towards pink right now because of my nails. Look at this.
Okay.
So my nails are like feisty pink,
so
and I wanted to see that.
Okay, well, let's see what they are saying on social media. Annie says purple. Chantal says purple. Fatima says pink.
There we go.
Sonica says pink. Robin says purple, because why not? Biggie says pink should fit Jamie Lee's hair perfect. I honestly think Jamie can rock any colour that's going to be on her head. But those are just a teaser of some of the votes. It's really neck and neck. I think it's a 50-50 at the moment. So please head on over to the Expresso Facebook page. Cast your vote. Should Jamie get pink hair or purple?
that intro, do you not feel like a ray of light should be shining on
but
Eitan?
like over a hill on a
When is
horse
this going to end?
on a giant
We can't do this every week.
I honestly feel...
It's never going to end until they change your theme
they
music.
Need to change you. They need to give you a little bit of a beat or something. That's the only way it's going to work. But
a
now
bit of a
we're like,
techno beat, eh? A bit of a...
it's just, I honestly feel like you have to just boldly intro this and say, at some point or another in life, we all advise to invest in opportunities that will help to save and grow our money for the future. Or perhaps even be approached by friends and family to invest in their ventures. Investing is indeed risky business, so it's always good to get clued up before diving in with somebody so amazing and inspirational.
We are calling once again upon the legal guidance of our friend and expert in law, director of legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern.
Yes!
To answer the question. I want to be sure I'm investing my hard-earned money wisely. So now what?
Yeah, John.
So now what?
What, eh, China?
Can I say, for people at home, you have to have this experience one day of sitting with these two. It's weird.
It
Very,
degrades,
very weird.
it degrades your grey matter. Okay, so I'm going to try and remember what we're talking about this morning here. Investing is tricky business, but there is this pressure. I feel it now, especially at my ripe old age. Like, I feel like I should have a portfolio by now. You know, we kind of feel like we should be investing. Can we just invest in any company? Can we or should we invest in a friend's company? How difficult is it to do that?
Okay, so the should is a different question, which I don't know if we're going to get into. But the can, so there's kind of two types of companies. You've got public companies, which we'll talk about in a second, which you can invest in, and you've got private companies. Private companies can't ask the public to invest in them, but they can ask people that they know. So if you've got a friend who's got a company and they want investment, yes, you can invest in them. If you do it, there needs to be a shareholders agreement drawn up and correct documentation. It's really, really not a good idea to invest in anyone's business without doing it properly, especially friends and family. But if you do that and you go through the procedure, then sure, you can invest in any private company.
And those shares then would then equal what? A payout at some particular point, a dividend? Does it differ in terms of what that...
So anytime you have a share in a company, where share is like a portion, if you think about it like a pie, and you're cutting the pie into smaller and smaller pieces, and it kind of entitles you to a few things. Number one is it entitles you to a certain say in the running of the company. So depending on how big the share you have that say. Secondly, you get a share of the dividends, which is a share of the profits. So at the end of the year, once the company's done all its work, paid all its staff, expenses, whatever's left over are the profits, and then the shareholders get a portion of that
split,
relative to the amount of shares that they have. And thirdly, you get actual ownership. So if the company is ever sold, you would get some of the money, or if you could take those shares, if the company is increased in value, you could sell them for more than you got them for.
All right, wowza. Okay, well, there's another thing about public companies.
Yes.
Before we get there, I'll get there in a second. There's a little social media comment that came through. It's Mohadi. And Mohadi says, okay, please touch on investments for kids. I'm a new mom, inquired about a life plan with a specific company, and they said you could only be covered from 1 year up. So with that, I'd like to have more information on what to take into consideration when wanting to have an investment plan for my 9-month-old son.
Okay, so as a big proviso, I'm not an investment advisor, and we'll get into it in a minute.
Yes.
So I'm unable to kind of say what you should do as an investment for your kid. And, you know, you would need to go to an investment advisor for that. What we're talking about today is kind of the rules around investing and what you would need to know. But as a general point, I think the question's a great question, and you know, as Graham's saying, we should all be thinking about investing from a young age.
Yeah.
There's lots of different products out there, and you want to make sure that you go to an investment advisor. There's lots of them out there. Make sure they're licensed and get the right investment advice that you need. Definitely don't take investment advice from someone that you see on TV.
Yeah, I mean, we've been able to, from all the guys that we've spoken to on TV, we have spoken to some great minds, but it's a great way to say, if you're going to go for something that's slightly lower risk when you're looking for a long-term growth plan for your child, that's generally, I think, the way to go. If you've got the money to be able to play around with the high-risk stuff, great. But if you're looking for a long-term investment for your child's education or for their long-term financial security, go for something that's low risk.
100%. Look, the risk is a great thing. It's great to touch on. Every investment's going to have a level of risk, and what you're trying to do is match your investment to the right level of risk. So if for a baby, where they've got their whole life to kind of watch this money grow and compound, money, invested money compounds year on year on year. So you could kind of just start putting a small amount away in a very risk-free investment and watch that grow over time. Of course, like investing in someone's private company, that's going to be a much higher risk investment. So you might not want to do that with your pension or something that's core to you. So it's really important that every time you make an investment that you understand the risks and you understand what risk appetite you have at that period of your life or with that money that you have.
So, public companies, if we can touch on that just for a quick second. You know when you get that advice at a braai and people are like, hey, you should go into this China, you should go into that China, and then do that, I get it completely.
I'm going to come to your braais.
But I think nobody actually gives you practical steps into actually getting whatever shares you need from a public company. No one gives you the step-by-step as to how you get a piece of that company.
Do you have to go through a broker?
Cool, so great question. So what are public companies? They're companies that are set up in order to offer their shares to the public, to as many people as possible. And that pie is cut into like millions of little pieces. So, and what you're doing when you're buying it is you're buying a portion of that company, and you get, if the company increases the value, your share increases the value. How do you actually do it? Well, you used to have to just go through a broker. There were people that did these trades. Of course, with the internet and with the tools out there, this has been very much democratized. So now there's apps. There's like Easy Equities, eToro. There's apps that you can use in order to directly buy shares for companies, shares in companies. So you can buy on the GIC yourself for a couple of rand, just register an account with Easy Equities. It's also quite fun. They've gamified the whole thing to make it a little too fun. It is still money. But yeah, you don't need a broker anymore. You can do it through online applications.
Yeah, but just learn a little bit along the way. Educate yourself if you are going to play in that space. We haven't even touched on Bitcoin yet.
Not yet. We'll get there.
But we will get there. Mr. Eitan Stern is going to hang around, and we've got a very special request from a viewer in just a moment that I need you to brace for. But we'll continue to ask the big question. So now what? In just a moment.
So now what? It is time for a performance because singer and songwriter Carla Conrad is standing by to perform her original track, Plug Into You. She has always been passionate about music and songwriting, which has always been part of her musical journey. And the lyrics of the specific song speaks about tapping into another person even when you're not good for you. So please welcome Carla Conrad with her original track, Plug Into You.
Speaking, the child inside looking to you for all the answers when I know what to do. Give me some credit, I've earned it. Before I met you, and now you withhold it. Control me like you do. Kicking the habit was easy before I met you, but I have forgotten how to see myself through. And now that you've tasted the sweetness of my bitter wound, you know how to soothe it, open it like you do. Change. trying to change. I plug into you and I feel that it's getting too quiet. Your current's too strong, don't think that I'm ready to quit it. I can't quit it, no. Quit it, no. I hear her speaking, the child inside looking to you for all the answers when I know what to do.
What a voice, Carla Conrad, an original song, Plug Into You. Now remember, we're going to still plug you into 2 more performances here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, but do let us know what you thought of that performance. Expresso Morning Show on S3. We'll see you after this.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It actually even it improves my posture, that music. You know that, eh?
I feel taller when I hear it. It's really, it's
You
powerful.
look a bit taller.
Thank you so much. You know, we continue our discussion with lawyer and director at legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern, as he breaks down the legal ins and outs of making investments with your money. And I need to let you know that we're not going to try and give you financial advice per se, but we will refer to some of the concepts just so that you're in the know when you are asking the questions with your advisor.
Because thankfully there is a legal framework within which we operate, which is absolutely
very
vital.
important for people to know.
So who then, it begs the question, should we be talking to, and what laws and safety governs that space? What happens if someone we go to and give our money over to makes a bad choice and we lose all our money?
So I think this is the most important thing to touch on. We're not giving financial advice, we're giving advice about advice.
That's correct.
There's a whole, we've got a history of people taking other people's money and investing it badly. So you've got lots and lots of rules around this. It's a very regulated space, and there's different levels and categories of advisors. So you need to be registered according to the financial, the Financial Intelligence Safety. I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but there's a organization you need to be registered with. You need to be licensed. And then depending on what financial advice or what products you're selling, you have different licenses. So it's crucial that if you're taking financial advice from anyone, family member, stranger, person you met on the internet, person you see on TV, it's really
Giant
important. Giant panda bear on the internet that asks for your credit card details. It's really important that you understand what license they have, you verify them if possible, and you understand your own research as well before giving someone your money. The only person that's going to be really looking out for your money is you. Financial advisors are always incentivized. They earn fees of the profits that you earn, which is fine. That's how the model works. But it's important for you to know it, and it's important for them to tell you all the risks.
I find that there's a lot of jargon around the word risk.
Yes.
There's a lot, and I almost feel like the jargon is thrown at you so that you don't really know how severe risk is. That's what I feel like, you know, when you have an interaction with an advisor. So, I mean, all due respect to any advisor, I know, you know, you are trying to do your best to ensure that we are doing what we can with our money, but let's look at risk as a concept, layman's terms.
Totally.
What should we be assessing with our advisor when looking at risk?
Yeah, I think that you're quite right. In that space, there's a lot of terminology and jargon, and it's really important to kind of dig your way through it before investing. What should you be looking for? You want to be looking at what sort of returns you can expect.
Okay.
You definitely want to be looking at the types of companies or where the money's going. If you don't understand in some essence where your money's going, it's probably not the right sort of thing. You want to understand what fees people are charging along the way. And you also want to understand what penalties they're going to be if you take your money out early or using that specific sort of thing. I think RAs, which we'll talk about in a second, there's some restrictions in what you can do with the money, the tax restrictions or benefits. So everything around, we work hard for our money. It's great to put it to use by investing it, but we really need to understand the broader context.
Manage it and look after it. I mentioned Bitcoin because we've been talking quite a lot about cryptocurrency over the last couple of weeks. Are we in any way protected? How do we know that who we're investing in and how we're investing, especially for those that haven't played in that space? How do we know that we're safe?
Cool.
Because surely you're not really signing contracts or sitting down with someone. Most of this you're doing over the internet with international companies.
So crypto is a really interesting one, and kind of by its definition, it's going to be quite a risky investment. You can make a lot of money, which some people have. You can also lose a lot. So if you're looking for a safe investment, crypto is probably not it. Some people disagree with me, and we shouldn't be giving them financial advice, but that's my particular opinion. But there's organizations and companies that have set up to help people access the crypto market, and those companies will be registered financial institutions and will have licenses in order to take your money and invest it into crypto. So companies like Luno, there's some international ones, they will have the correct licenses. And if you are a newbie into investing into cryptos and don't understand it, my view would be don't use any company that isn't licensed, and you can't go to a regulator to say, well, listen, these people took my money and I didn't get anything in return. If you're very experienced in crypto, obviously you can dig deeper into that world and
there are some mock kind of platforms that you can play around on before you actually start investing your real money, just to kind of get the ebbs and flows and figure it out. Maybe that's a good place to start.
Definitely. I mean, Easy Equities is a brilliant company, a South African one. They give you access to local share portfolios, international ones, so you can buy your favorite tech stocks like Google or Facebook or whatever it is. And you can buy from small amounts of money, and you get this ability to play around on mock accounts, so you can just play around in the game. It does gamify the whole thing, which is fun, but of course it's that also has the consequences. It's like playing poker with your friends.
For sure, yeah.
It's like suddenly it is real money, so just be careful of playing that game too much.
This is why we trust legalese.co.za. We trust you so much. In fact, there's another really important investment question.
Yes.
It's really, really pertinent for us to share. I don't know how you're going to take this, but it really is serious. But sure. I don't have to ask you this, but there's a viewer that had a request, and this is clearly a part of legalities around investment.
And it was actually a very heartfelt request. So I think you've got to take on board just how important this means to the person. The viewer's request, and it came from Marcel Channer, and Marcel Channer, we certainly relate to you. Please, can you let down thy locks, Mr. Stern? Is the request.
Yes, I think we should also have some music. Could we get some music around with us as well? I think. Let's go.
Please, sir, can you do it? Otherwise,
I'm happy to let down.
Otherwise, none of your advice means anything if you're not willing to do this.
No, I'm happy to do it. I'm not shy. I mean, I love my hair. I normally get told to tie up my hair before coming on. I'm happy to do it.
Yes, let's do it. Yes!
Oh, so beautiful.
That's. Look at that. And you can tell he's invested a lot of time in that hair.
Is it leave-in conditioner?
I've got a lot of products.
And I know all sustainably sourced and really.
Yes.
We know you, man.
My fiance laughs that any woman in my life at some point lands up giving me hair advice, just like we're giving people not financial advice.
Yeah, no, not financial.
I'm very into hair advice. Anyone out there?
Wow. Okay.
Marcel, I hope you PVR'd that and you can play it back. We did it just for you. Buddy, we appreciate you. We appreciate your beautiful locks. We appreciate the fact that you're not a financial advisor, but you've given us some sage advice. I think the most important thing coming out of this is to know that you are protected. So make sure that you do some background checks, make sure that the right kind of validation is there. If you're going to play in this monetary space, as Eitan pointed out, you work hard for your money. Make sure that you look after that money, especially if you're going to hand it over to someone else.
Ah, ooh, that hair. Ooh, a ton. Love it. Let's make some pizza now. We all know that local South African avos are in season. Yes, they are. And with June being World Avocado Month, the South African Avocado Growers Association, they are celebrating with an exciting competition where you stand the chance of. Okay, I want you to really put everything down and listen to this. You stand the chance to win a share of 100,000 Rand. And we're going to give you all the details that you're going to need a bit later on. Right now, though, we're showing you how to make one of our favorite takeaways, the pizza. The pizza. I want to say the humble pizza, Michaela, but
there's nothing
humble about it. Let us just put that out as a fact. How do we take what's already not humble and just elevate it?
Avocados.
My girl.
Because they make everything better.
Even a pizza.
You can even use them for desserts. I mean, how versatile of a fruit are they?
Well, you can even use them for your face when you do a mask.
And your hair.
What can't you use avos for? Nothing.
I mean...
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a really easy recipe that we're making because all you're going to need is to grab a few frozen pizza bases or pre-made pizza dough. If you've got that at home, add all of it together with your favorite toppings, pop it into the oven, and it's done. Crown it with the ultimate pizza topping, that's the avo, and now we begin. Let's go.
Okay, so we're doing a pizza blanco, which is, there's no tomato sauce on it.
What does blanco mean?
Blanc/white.
Oh, like blanc de noir.
Yes, exactly.
Love that, okay, cool.
So as our, wet ingredient on the pizza base, we use cream cheese. Oh, so it's basically a 3-cheese pizza at this point.
I love everything about this. Okay,
I know.
Cool. All right, so you're mixing that...
We're just making the cream cheese soft.
You're making that soft?
Yes.
While that's going, of course, our pre-made or frozen pizza dough is on there. What would you recommend? Frozen or pre-made? Do you have a specific, Michaela, sort of preference?
So I tend to like making my own pizza bases.
Oh, yeah?
And they're so simple. It's just like flour, water, oil. Bah.
You're good to go. If you're the type of person that's like me, all about the convenience of not having to go through all of that, which doesn't sound like a lot, this is obviously the easier way to do it. So you're adding some?
Salt. You season the cream cheese. So salt, some pepper. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't that much. Also, we've already cut the avocados in half for you.
Why did you need to do that for me?
Just in case you cut your hand.
Have I ever done that, Michaela?
I don't know. But grab the one that says the pepper in it because I actually want to try this. I saw it online, and basically you grab it.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to stick your thumb in the back and push it out, and the pepper's supposed to come out.
It's supposed to?
Yes. So
which hand would you use? Which hand did you see being used online?
I don't know. Use your strong hand.
And then what?
Push.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yes.
Oh!
Instead of you know when people take their knives and they chop it into the pit?
Or like me, like a spoon. And what happens then is you end up with so much.
Or you're cutting very deep into that.
That's... Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
So keep it within the skin and just, there we go, just glide it on through.
You see, you think Avo is a basic girl, but Avo is actually not a basic girl because there's so much technicality to how you cut it and all of that. And clearly today, class is in session for me.
Well, you did a pretty good job.
Okay, so am I just putting the Avo on?
Yes.
But obviously, like this?
So for the one that we're making on set, you basically just spread your cream cheese out. You might want to leave your cream cheese so that it gets to room temperature, and then it's so much easier to do this.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. Then we top that with some mozzarella. I mean, a lot of it. Considering there's no tomato base on this, it's going to be like 90% cheese.
It's a cheesy extravaganza.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is.
Some mozzarella.
Look at that.
Look
These
at
are the most perfect slices you have seen of Avo.
I mean, that one's a bit sketch, but you're doing well.
But that's character, you know?
Yeah.
Like, who wants an Avo that's perfectly sliced? It takes away so much from its thing. The weekend is almost here. The thing is, Friday is tomorrow. Friday night takeaways are a special treat for South African families. I mean, which family doesn't like a Friday treat? And the good news, though, is that if you are ordering takeaways and you add an Avo to your order, you might just be a winner just by ordering anything with some Avo on it. But more about that a bit later on. I keep teasing you, but I'll tell you all about it. I promise I will tell you. What are you adding on to that?
So now I've added some rosemary, oregano, and some thyme because you need to obviously add some additional flavor.
Nice.
And there's also some parmesan on top of that. So this pizza is smelling cheesy.
And then this goes into the oven.
We have some garlic as well because everything's better
Zoe
with
Brown's
garlic.
gonna love you for that because that girl is all about the garlic.
No one saw how big that blob was.
I love it. Okay, then this goes into the oven for how long would you say, Michaela?
I like to go until it's very golden brown around the
watch
edges.
It with your eyes,
And then it gets that like delicious caramelized cheesy flavor. 200 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And considering the base is already cooked, you don't have to do that much. But if it's an uncooked base, I'd say go between 15 and 20 minutes.
Okay, simple, simple. Well, as promised, okay? This competition that you've been waiting for. First, you have to make the recipe. So go on the website, expressoshow.com. The recipe's there with all the ingredients. But I promised you this. Here are the competition details. To stand a chance to win that share of 100,000 Rand, what you need to do is order your favorite takeaways, okay? Add an Avo. Take a picture of your Avo takeaway meal. Simple. Post it to @ILoveAvocadoSA Facebook or @ILoveAvosSA Instagram pages. Comment with add an Avo and tag the restaurant that you ordered from. Don't forget to use that hashtag AvoDineSA. Make sure to read the T's and C's on avocado.co.za. You see, avocados are so cool. They even have a website. Do you have a website?
No.
I don't have a website either. Avocados. So that's telling. Go and do that.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. We're live on S3. And it's time to just kind of tap into something called upcycling of tech. I know. But did you know that you can upcycle your tech once something is broken? In this Upcycle Awareness Day, we want to show you that you don't need to simply throw something away. It actually can be reused. And this is beautiful. And that's why we have the perfect person to chat about it, Grant. He's here to help us. And he knows exactly what to do with upcycled stuff. You do. You do.
I do, but it's like I'm the perfect person to don't throw your stuff away.
No, but, but you're always exposed to different tech, you're always upgrading your devices, and I think a lot of people... Let's first just establish the difference between recycling and upcycling.
Yes, so upcycling means that you take an existing piece of technology and then you reuse it in a different capacity, it becomes valuable in a different way than what it was inherently at the beginning.
So give me an example of upcycling.
So an example that we're going to talk about a little bit later on is taking, if you have an old notebook, the different components in your notebook, and those different components can be different things if you dismantle it and know what you're doing with it.
Okay.
Or the same with your phone. Your phone can be something that's not necessarily a phone. It's got accelerometers, it's got cameras, it's got light sensors.
Accelerometers.
Well, I was just thinking like upgrading my toaster to like sideways and I can store stuff in.
Yeah,
it.
it's a
That's
nice
what upcycling for me was.
That sounds like a terrible... Do not plug that in. It's,
No, I won't plug it in.
Cut the
But I would
cable.
use it for storage. And
What,
then if I
for
need something, it
CDs?
pops out.
And how many people upcycle their microwaves as like mirrors in the kitchen, like just to cheat themselves
That's
out?
the purpose of my microwave.
Well, so there are a couple of things that you can do. Other than using your mirror, do not use your microwave as a mirror. You know, like, there's still radio waves if you get close to it.
Okay,
That's why it's got like an enclosure. Don't put your face up to a microwave. Anyway, so the first thing I want to talk about is Samsung actually have this really cool program where you can upcycle your older phones into different objects that, like I was saying, because it uses all that different technology. One of them is a baby monitor.
Ooh.
Because, there's cameras and there's speaker systems, microphone systems. So you download an app and you can literally convert an older device into a baby monitor that you leave in your house, and then you'll have another app on another device that will detect or will be activated and get notifications from that separate device.
Yeah.
There's also a light sensor one, so if you say your dog walks into the lounge and your dog needs to switch on the smart lights, then then the sensors on the phone will be able to detect that, and you just mount that phone in that room.
I love technology. Like, for all these things, it's incredible how it just makes life easier.
It does.
It does. And if you get creative and you think out of the box a little bit, then you can see some cool stuff. So one of the other things you can do if you've got an old notebook, a lot of people love this stuff, and there are tons of YouTube videos, so you can work out how to do this yourself if you're a tech savvy.
Okay.
But you can turn your an old monitor or an old notebook screen into a smart mirror.
Ooh.
So instead of
I knew she was going to go, oh, I had a feeling. You were like,
well,
oh.
it's better than a microwave.
Yes,
you don't use a microwave as a mirror.
My microwave is shiny.
So you can turn it into a smart mirror. So you can mount a screen, a monitor that's powered, that is sitting in a part of the room that will display your what the weather is that day, or any like news, which is really cool. Then you can also, one of the other things you can do is you can make like a light box with an old screen, because it's got old panels. So you can use a light box and then be able to draw on it, which is also sick. Also, old laptops have speaker systems in them. So if you can also dismantle that speaker array and then convert that, and if you've got some design savvy, put some mesh over or whatever, and create your own speaker system from home.
Your own surround sound.
Or like mount the speakers underneath your desk so that they're hidden. There's just so much that you can do.
Have you upcycled any of your old tech?
So I have upcycled some old phones. Yeah. And one of the things that I'm really proud of is that I do a lot of home broadcasting. So I broadcast on Twitch and play video games. Is that I've created like a roaming camera around the house. So part of my broadcast is if I'm busy playing a game, you've seen a lot of people play video games on Twitch or whatever, I can get up and go make coffee, and then I'll just bring the audience with me. I'll just grab a camera, swap that, and then walk to the lounge, or walk to the kitchen, and start making coffee and just chat to the audience. So the show must go on.
Even when you make a cup of coffee.
We should totally do that in studio over here, because the stuff that happens behind the scenes, people need to see.
They have to.
Yeah, they have to.
It's wild.
It really is, but it's also cool because I think this speaks to what we were chatting about earlier with regard to, asking the questions. Are things like sustainable? Are they going to last forever? And I mean, there are a lot of plastics in these, technology. So if we're upcycling them, surely that plastic's not going to get thrown away and put into a pile.
And here's my thing: you own that stuff already. Yeah. Right. And it's stuff that we are often encouraged to throw away. I think the tech industry is very notorious for this. Yes. We have to upgrade our devices all the time. We need the new technology. We've got all this surplus of old tech, but that stuff isn't not useful. You can make desk lamps out of existing tech.
Oh, that is
you can still use it. You just got to be savvy and creative, and it's always a YouTube video away.
So, should I make a YouTube video about my old toaster?
Yes,
storage
totally.
compartment.
Let's do it.
Use it for a couple of months first and see how it goes.
That's fine. I mean, it's the only way. If you have really hot documents, put it in your... No, I'm just kidding. But what I will say is that I love it and I think it's great. As Grant said, you own the stuff already. Don't throw it away. Upcycle.
No. Roman Pierce, loyal ally to Dom Toretto.
A.k.a. Tyrese.
Otherwise known as Tyrese, says that if we're going to go out, we're going to go out together. And that's the kind of unity and the sense of family that Fast and Furious holds. There is such hype around it, guys. Everyone's talking about it so far. Much anticipated release of the action-packed blockbuster Fast and Furious 9. Fast Saga. It's exciting, right?
Yeah, man. And the visuals look insane.
Sure.
The storyline looks just as crazy as we expect, and I think the best way to see it is at New Metro, and you've got to do it in Extreme, in the larger-than-life Extreme cinemas. It kicks off tomorrow, the 25th of June, and it's no surprise why people are loving it. Take a look at this.
Brother against brother. This should be interesting.
I spent my entire life in your shadow. And now, you spend the rest of yours living in mine. I ain't going anywhere.
We are the...
Man, it is
Oh, wow.
finally
How much force do you think is involved when those two guys run at each other and hit when an immovable force meets an immovable
What are you looking
object?
forward to the most?
That.
The entire movie.
The men smashing through walls with not even the cars. The cars are always like insane, and they're going to just do crazy things with the cars by the looks of things. They hit a guy with a car, incidentally. They smack some poor guy with a flying car.
Is this the first time they will have actually done that? 'Cause I've not seen
it
like
hasn't stood out, but they do. There's a poor guy standing on the top of one car, and then they flip the car and they smack the guy on purpose with the car. But just to see these two monoliths, these guys that are so big and so athletic and so powerful, smashing through walls. Wait,
Look
there.
at that. Oh, and then that happens.
And they don't even slow down. The wall just gives up.
Yeah, the wall makes way, but like us.
Because the wall can't see them coming.
Yeah, the wall can't see them coming.
Yo, you guys, I can't wait to see Cardi B in it. I just want to know if she's going to say, oh,
She probably is going to have to. I imagine that that's the only reason that they would hire her to do that. But New Metro, they are doing something fantastic for all of us here. They're giving away another set of double New Metro Extreme movie tickets to have you experience Fast and Furious 9 with premium screen and premium sound quality. There's nothing better than when you watch it at a New Metro. Plus 2 regular soda and popcorn combos. It's a date done, sealed. It's happening today and tomorrow.
But let's first find out who yesterday's lucky winner is. Can we get a drum roll, please? A very big congratulations to Renisha Lachmansing. We asked you to tell us about your first experience in a New Metro cinema, and Renisha said this. She said, our first time at a New Metro cinema, it was so amazing that we had to capture the moment. Oh,
There's
that.
the
There's the
See, that was quite
moment.
lucky.
Yeah.
That's why you got to take a selfie. If you feel the need, the inspiration, just do it. You never know. It might win you an awesome competition. If you haven't won yet, though, there are still 2 days left to get your hands on a set of those double tickets to New Metro Extreme for F9. And then, of course, 2 regular popcorn and soda combos thrown in just for fun. Reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter pages right now and tell us what your all-time favorite Fast and Furious moment is. How do you even... Where do you begin? The submarine. It's got to be the submarine. Don't forget to include hashtag Expresso New Metro, and that competition closes at midday today. But you can find all the terms and conditions on ExpressoShow.com.
And I think if you're feeling brave enough, maybe you could even reenact that favorite moment.
Yeah,
maybe reenact it with your friends, but like obviously be safe. Breaking news though, New Metro has just confirmed. Okay, we're hearing this now. Oh, yeah, they've just confirmed that their cinemas will again be open 7 days a week from tomorrow, which is Friday, which is fantastic, with all the COVID-19 precautions in place. You want to be there, keeping you safe, of course, which is wonderful. If you haven't got a mask, you're not going to go in. You're not going to watch the movie. To book tickets for Fast and Furious 9, go onto their website, newmetro.co.za, or call 0861 Cinema.
See you at the movies.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Moisture Plus, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour intensive moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Now, earlier, we asked you to decide on the color that Jamie Lee Domberg needs to color her hair. You had to choose between purple and pink, and Mzansi, the verdict is in. Jamie, are you ready?
Suddenly I feel nervous, but ready or not, here we go. What is the
Nazir,
verdict?
what do you think? Are you ready to hear the verdict?
I am.
Okay, I feel like this deserves a drum roll. Can we get a drum roll, please? And verdict is in. Jamie Lee Domberg, your hair is going to be purple.
Sorry, Grant Hines, we can't be twins anymore. It's okay, I'm taking the purple.
You're going to go purple. So let's look at some of the messages that, the comments that came through on Facebook. Ronald says, how about a touch of pink? Vaughn says purple. She has an amazing face and tone to carry it off. Thank you for that, Vaughn. I agree with you. Natasha says, I would say pink. It would suit her beautiful complexion. Nashida says, love her with the blonde.
Agree.
Zacharian says, ombre. Blue, purple, pink vibes. What about that? What about that? Or how about some tie-dye?
Listen, if you're doing tie-dye, then you are chopping off all your hair, okay? That's the next thing. The next thing is we're chopping off all Zoe's hair on the show. No, we're not doing that.
You're going to be the bold one of the show.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that.
Okay. Well, what's going to happen is before the end of the show, Nazir's going to be colouring Jamie's hair. It's going to be purple, and we will reveal that, so stay tuned because we have to say thank you to you, Mzansi, for choosing the colour and helping our beautiful Jamie Lee Domberg out because she is now going to be purplified.
It's the last time you're looking at this.
All right, so here we go. We're back on the Expresso stage, and I know you want to be entertained. We're back with performing artist Carla Conrad. Now, Carla has the ability to captivate an audience with her voice and stage presence. Trust me, I'm feeling it right now. And she takes you on a musical journey, and I can tell you that she will also be performing another little track for you. You're going to love this one, so just get the entire family together. You may want to move the coffee table so you can get a closer look. This is Carla Conrad and a beautiful song, Beachfront. Enjoy.
I looked to you like you were magic. Where was I falling short? I could have changed in a minute. At the beachfront where we stood. Woke up last night, dreamt of your wife. She seems a little sad. Haven't met her in my life. As if we have. When did you become the other woman, the younger one to the other woman? You leave your darkness in my room. Man, you do get mad. You give her all the good as I soak up all the bad. You say you both chose this life. Times there's something else. I look to you like you're still magic as I watch it all play out. When did you become the other woman, the younger one to the other woman? You think it's bad when you don't know. feels worse when you do, and you still can't let go. She decorates your beachfront home. Wish you gave me the chance before I got dethroned. When did you become the other woman, the younger one, to the other woman? When did you become the other woman, the younger one, to the other woman?
Yes! Did you see that last little strum, hey? That look was for me. Thank you, Carla. I do appreciate that. Excellent stuff. If you want to go catch any more music from Carla Connor, all you have to do is go into any good platform. And, of course, the EP is out. It's called Winter's Lane. Later, there's a surprise, because if you love Post Malone, you're going to want to stick around as we get into some news on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much for that. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines at 8 o'clock here on Expresso. We start off in South Africa, where almost 550 kilograms of cocaine, valued at some 243 million rand, was discovered in a container at Isipingo near Durban yesterday. The multi-agency bust found that cocaine in a container supposedly packed with animal food. And Hawks spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Philani Nkwalase said that they acted on information regarding smuggling and subsequently discovered 26 canvas bags filled with cocaine. Several large drug hauls have been recently thwarted around the country, and of course including one in a ski boat being towed by a bakkie in Centurion and containing at least 800 kilograms of cocaine. Meanwhile, the Special Investigating Unit, the SIU, has been granted a preservation order to freeze 22 million rand in a bank account linked to Digital Vibes. SIU spokesperson Kaza Khanyago said the unit would also seek an order against Digital Vibes and other relevant entities and individuals to pay back all financial losses suffered by the state. Earlier this month, President Cyril Ramaphosa placed Health Minister Zweli Mkhize on special leave after being implicated in awarding a 150 million rand contract of the Department of Health to Digital Vibes. In international news, what has been heralded as a true test of democracy in Ethiopia, the twice postponed election has finally taken place in the shadow of a pandemic. Internal struggles in the country's northern state of Tigray and boycotts by some of the country's largest opposition parties. Now, this poll is Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's first electoral test since coming to power in 2018. The election was supposed to be held on the 29th of August, but was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Ballot papers are still being counted in Africa's second most populous country as we speak. Now, by the end of August, the highly contagious Delta variant of the new coronavirus is expected to account for 90% of the new COVID-19 cases in the European Union. This, according to the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control. The warning by the health agency yesterday echoed a similar statement by the World Health Organization, that's the WHO, last week, that the variant first identified in India was becoming dominant globally. It's estimated that the Delta variant is 40 to 60% more contagious than the Alpha variant first discovered in the United Kingdom. And now some wonderful news from the land of the rising sun. The first panda birth at Tokyo's Ueno Zoo in 4 years was announced yesterday. Giant panda Shinshin gave birth to twins, and the news of which immediately sent share pictures of and prices of restaurants in the vicinity of the zoo soaring. Pandas play a major role in Japan's tourism economy, and share prices rose as investors were encouraged by the possibility by many of those people who do go and visit the zoo. An overly excited zoo director, Yutaka Fukuda, was beside himself for words, especially so because it was the first time panda twins had been born at Ueno Zoo. Now, giant pandas are notoriously difficult to breed in both the wild and in in captivity. Only a few thousand of them remain, and of course, conservationists classify them as vulnerable. Also, giant pandas rarely take care of two cubs at the same time, which is very interesting. So the zoo staff had to decide to place one of them in an incubator. Now, they will be regularly swapped in order to both experience natural feeding, and the staff suspected 15-year-old Shinshin could be pregnant after she had mated with her partner Riri in March. Beautiful news coming out of Japan. That's where we live for now. Here's a look at what's happening in sport with Graham.
Thank you so much, Tubbsy. From giant pandas to dominant lions, the Golden Lions recorded a 38-32 victory over Western Province at the Emirates Airline Park in their midweek Currie Cup clash last night. The Lions were handed 2 yellow cards in quick succession with just 10 minutes to go, but did enough to win in the end. Currie Cup action will continue tomorrow with the Bulls up against the Pumas. That's at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, the Gekwas hosts the Cheetahs at 1 p.m. Then staying with rugby, the Junior Boks beat Argentina 33-26 in their Under-20 International Series encounter in Stellenbosch to remain unbeaten in the competition so far. Fly half Jordan Hendricks, he kicked 18 points, and then wing Kanan Moody scored 2 superb tries to guide South Africa to a well-deserved victory in wet conditions. Now the results from yesterday, Uruguay scored 3 tries to 2 to beat Georgia 2015. On to international cricket. New Zealand were crowned winners of the inaugural ICC World Test Championship. That was after beating India by 8 wickets on the reserve 6th day at the Ageas Bowl in Southampton. The Black Caps were set 139 runs to win from 53 overs after rolling India for 170. New Zealand finishing on 140 for 2, reaching their target in 45.5 overs. On winning, Kiwi skipper Kane Williamson said it was a very special feeling and also paid tribute to a formidable Indian side. And then on to football. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's done it again. He has now equaled the all-time international goal-scoring record by Ali Daei as defending European champions Portugal drew 2-2 against world champions France in their thriller in their Euro 2020 encounter last night. Both Portugal and France now have advanced to the last 16, along with Germany, played out to a 2-2 draw against Hungary, and Spain, who thrashed Slovakia 5-0 in the earlier fixture last night. The Euro 2020 action will continue on Saturday. That's a wrap of your sport today, but of course we'll delve deeper in our weekend sports preview tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Right now, let's take another look at the weather.
Thank you, Graham. But before we get into your temperatures, another update for you. Now, we have some news on the fires raging in the Titicaca, which we reported about earlier this week. The Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment has said that the efforts to suppress the raging wildfires in the Coldstream and Komansbos areas of Titicaca were in full swing. Thus far, more than 2,400 hectares of commercial plantation and natural veld have been destroyed. More than 150 firefighters from the department, together with teams from other organizations, have been battling to quell the fires. The department said 2 working on Fire Huey helicopters and 1 fixed-wing spotter plane has flown 31 hours, providing aerial firefighting services in support of ground crews. In preparation for the winter fire season, close to 400 firefighters in the eastern region underwent the annual yellow card training camps, which ensured that they were fully fit and ready for the fire season. And while we love our local viewers, we also have a growing international audience that tune in via YouTube and the Africa channel, and we really enjoy interacting with you. So this morning we are sending greetings to anyone and any of our viewers watching from Luanda, the capital and largest city in Angola. Now, according to Mercer's annual cost of living index, Luanda, the capital of Angola, is the world's most expensive city. The Angolan Civil War, which lasted from 1975 until 2002, destroyed the country's infrastructure. And as a result, importing and exporting is a laborious and expensive process. The climate, it is warm and hot, but surprisingly dry, owing to the cool Benguela current, which prevents moisture from easily condensing into rain. Luanda can expect a sunny and pleasant day ahead, reaching 27 degrees Celsius as the maximum. And we also love featuring the gorgeous sunrise images that we receive from you. So to wrap up our viewers and our weather for this morning, we want to take a look at some of the ones we've already received. Starting us off this morning, we received this gorgeous view overlooking the ocean. This was shared by Joey Peterson from Umhlanga. Our second photo of the morning was shared by long-standing superfan Josephine Pickstone, who took this beautiful photograph from the top of Oudtshoornweg, and that's overlooking Cape Town. Lionel Gordon from Plettenberg Bay shared this stunning view overlooking the ocean as the sun casts a pink hue in the distance. And heading a little further up the coast, we share this bright yellow photo that was shared to us by Vincent Lutuli from Durban. Now, thank you to all of our amazing viewers for sharing and taking the time to capture those gorgeous sunrise photos. And if you would like to see your photo featured during one of our sunrise segments, all you need to do is snap that gorgeous sunrise, head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and share your photo and location with us. Now, on that note, let's take a final look at your temperatures for this morning. It's going to be sunny in Polokwane with a low of 5, a high of 21. Mbombela 10, reaching a high of 28. Pretoria 7 with a high of 20. Sunny in Johannesburg, reaching a high of 18. If you're in Mahikeng, 5 is your low, 22 your high. Klerksdorp 4, reaching a high of 21. Kimberley 5, 22. Bloemfontein 1, reaching a high of 21 for today. If you're in Richards Bay, a low of 13 with a high of 24 can be expected. Pietermaritzburg, partly cloudy, reaching a high of 20. Durban 15, 22. Rain can be expected in Mthatha today with a high of 16. East London 14, reaching a high of 17. Cradock 3 with a high of 17. Gqeberha 10, also reaching a high of 17. Partly cloudy in George today. 8 is your low, 15 your high. Cape Town 8 with a high of 16 for today. Worcester 5, 16. Sutherland quite cold with a low of 1, a high of 11 for today. And sunny conditions in Uppington with a low of 8 and a high of 24 degrees Celsius. And that's a wrap on your weather for this morning.
All right. Another educational from Graham and I. We know all there is to know about life-saving.
No, we are learning. We are learning a huge amount today. And normally we have Raul here to kind of throw in those anecdotal facts. But we're going to get serious for a second now, because I think this really does reinforce the need to support life-saving efforts here. So according to the latest report by the WHO, which we know after this last year is the World Health Organization, over 360,000 people drown each year, with 175,000 of them being children. And when you look at South Africa's statistics, there are approximately 2,000 fatal drownings per year. Drowning, in fact, is the second leading cause of accidental death in children under the age of 15, second only to road accidents globally.
And this is why it's so important. And we're giving you the proper precursor to what will happen tomorrow, which is a live crossing to Clifton, to get even more information. But Life Saving South Africa's educational drowning prevention program, Water Smart, has actually reached over 85,000 learners in more than 250 schools since its inception in 2016, believe it or not.
That's incredible, but here's the shot in the arm. DHL's investment into LSA's Water Smart program will now ensure the drowning prevention program is delivered to 408 schools every single year, creating employment along the way for 50 facilitator lifeguards.
It's win-win all over, and a lot of lives and livelihoods are being saved here. So Life Saving has performed over 130,000 rescues to date and prevented hundreds of thousands more from even getting into danger, especially during the school holidays. So, I mean, if you look at that, school holidays coming up soon, it is just vitally important that we educate ourselves thoroughly with regard to something that I suppose has been disregarded, didn't have the spotlight, like life-saving.
Yeah, completely. Our children's safety is at the heart of it, and the Water Smart conversation is only now just the beginning. So we want you to tune in tomorrow morning, where myself and Ryle will be broadcasting from Clifton Fourth Beach with Director of Drowning Prevention, Mzi, and Managing Director of DHL Express South Africa, Jed Michaltos. We're going to be getting into why they are throwing their massive weight, as we've seen them do with the likes of the Stormers, when they go all in. And they're going to do it with Life Saving South Africa, which is a massive thing. I think I'm most interested to hear how the lifesavers themselves feel about it.
I think it's going to be a powerful show, so don't miss it. We're taking it back to the beach on Expresso tomorrow.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's for Men, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Look at it. Just look at it. If you can pull this off, so I'm going to be really impressed. Be the cat whisperer. It's no secret that cats are wonderful little creatures, but they do have a mysterious side to them, and it's been the quest of humans for millions of years to try to understand these majestic creatures. They hold a special place in our hearts and our culture, in fact, and we are joined now by good friend of the show, Karis Nafti, a certified animal behavior consultant who is answering all of our big questions about these little bundles of fun and terror, as I am discovering, because I have a new rescue kitten myself, but we are being joined by Charlie and Alpha, who have come.
Charlie
are you holding Charlie? Hello, Charlie. Hello, Alpha. Alpha's ready to play, man. He wants to explore, as all kittens do, and they are from Tears Animal Rescue Group, and they are up for adoption, and they are gorgeous. I say that because they look just like the kitten that I've just adopted. It's crazy. I thought they could have come from the same family. Karis, so great to have you.
Morning. Is that your kitty? And her name is Honey.
Her name is Honey, and she is a little terrorist. She is just so playful. I love it. But you can tell that they're learning their skills, their cat skills at that age. I'm going to open our account here while Zoe does some bonding.
I don't know why I'm here. I'm just here to hold.
I know. And we're both cat people. You might have picked it up. Karis, you might have picked it up.
Yes, good.
Why do cats need? It's the weirdest thing, but it's so cool.
It is. So first, I just have to say, this is why they say never use animals and children on set.
Sure.
So little Alpha really would like to explore the studio right now. She is the spunkiest little cat, so I'll just hang on to her. So cats need, like especially when they're settling down and they're ready to go to sleep, because when they're with their moms, the kneading action actually gets the milk flowing for them to nurse. So even though when they're weaned and they don't have to nurse, they still need like that, because it meow, because it helps them feel calm and cozy and ready to go to sleep.
And then it's generally like accompanied with a tractor-like purr, which is really, really cute.
Big happy purr.
I have to say, when I got my cat for the first time, she's a rescue too.
Yeah.
I know when dogs wag their tails, it's a sign of happiness. Is that the same for kitty cats?
It's not, and that's a good question. So cats actually wag their tails if they're a little bit irritated or they're a little bit excited. So sometimes when they're hunting, the tip of their tail wags.
We'll kind of get a little shake,
Yeah, and sometimes you'll see a cat, if you're petting them, their tail will do like this long sweeping wag, and then they're irritated, and sometimes that's a precursor to them actually biting you.
Letting you know, yeah.
So if your cat's tail is wagging, stop petting them. Give them physically a little bit of space, because that's what they're asking for.
And cats are like that. They'll just, when you think that you're in there and it's fine, then they'll be like, no. enough. I will let you pet me later.
Maybe if I feel like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
They do communicate. You just have to kind of know what you're looking for, like the tail wag, yeah.
That being said, I was once told that when a cat blinks at you, that's their version of smiling. Is that true?
Yeah, it totally is. So all mammals, like people, are like this too. If someone stares at you, it's a pretty intense feeling. So when animals blink, especially cats, they're saying, I'm not hunting you, you're not hunting me. Let's all just relax and be calm together. So if your cat blinks at you, the best thing to do is blink back. Or if you have a cat that looks stressed, just blink at it real slow, and that helps them.
I'm learning something new here.
Good.
Just blink real slow.
Yeah, and then they'll blink back, and it's like they're saying, I love you, and I love you too. Yeah.
Lots of blinking going on here. So
Big
clearly
time.
someone's starting to chill out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes. And I love, you know what? I think a question that's always so fascinating is a kitty cat's whiskers. Why do they have such long whiskers?
So people love this. So cats, you know how cats explore everything and they go in tight places. A cat's whiskers are exactly as long as their shoulders. So that when they approach an opening, they know if their whiskers get through, the rest of them can get through. Isn't that interesting? So that's why you should never, ever cut a cat's whiskers, because their whiskers help them navigate through life. It's really important for them.
And trust me, at this age, they look quite big, but they can fit through, like... I've seen my cat go through a sleeve of our jacket, like...
Yes, I know.
Just really, really
You're
sweet.
going to explore now, my darling.
Okay, we'll give you the chance to explore. You guys are doing very well. I love the feisty nature. That, for me, if you're going to adopt a cat, you want to know, especially if you've got dogs like I have, you want to know that they're going to be able to hold their own.
Absolutely.
I have to pick your brain, if you don't mind. My cat has this habit, the zoomsies. Like, she just gets this burst of energy.
I call it
and
hackle-buckle, yeah.
The zoomsies, she's literally, then she's up my headboard, onto the couch, into the kitchen, onto the kitchen counter, onto the fridge, like all over the place.
And then it's done and she sleeps.
Yeah. Why do they do that?
So that's like a burst, and it often happens at 2:37 in the morning. Haven't you noticed that? So cats get the zoomies like that because they're hunters. So in the wild, basically, you know, cats sleep all the time, but then when they're awake, they don't sleep all the time, but like 20 hours a day. When they're awake, they got lots of energy, because that's what happens when you hunt. They don't have a lot of stamina, cats. They don't run slowly all day, but that zoomy action is exactly how they would be if they were hunting a mouse. Quick and fast and all over the place.
On point. And I actually watched the most amazing documentary where they compared the hunting ability and prowess of a house cat, and they're actually the most successful hunters in the animal kingdom, mammal kingdom.
They're wild.
Something like a 75% success rate. A lion only hits about 30 on a good day. So these are little hunters right here. Let them play, let them train. Most importantly, let them have a home and someone to do this to them every single day, because I think most importantly, cats really do need a little bit of love and affection.
And
they really are.
These darlings are looking for homes, and they're just going to be the best little pets. So sweet.
Look at this one. She's finally calmed down.
Oh, just a little bit anxious.
A little bit like, oh my God, I'm on camera.
You are the cat whisperer. Well done, Zoe. That's beautiful. Love it. Absolutely feisty. Reminds me of my little one. We're going to continue with this discussion. If you've got any cat-related questions, especially if you're thinking about adopting or have just adopted, let us know. We'd love to answer them.
And maybe now you've given them a home, but that home must smell good. It must smell like you're making something delicious in it, honestly, because otherwise the cat's going to want to leave. But how about this? Whipping up a delicious dessert with only 5 ingredients. You don't need any less or any more, but it takes less than 30 minutes to prepare. It sounds good, right? Well, now that sounds like a dessert anyone can make. Even us, myself and Carl Wasty, honestly, we have the easiest recipe for you to try out at home. We're going to be sharing that with you. These mini citrus tartlets are easy enough for you to even get the kids involved. And that's what I've loved about all the recipes we made this morning, really, is the entire family can get involved, not just the kids. Even if you've got an Uncle Tabsy in your own home who can't make a thing in the kitchen, they can make that.
All right, so...
But I've got ways you can make anything and everything.
Well, I can try my best, though. So what we have here, as you can see, it's a very bare station.
Yeah.
And that's because it's so simple for you to make this. So what I want you to do, Uncle Tubbsy, on your side, you're going to make the crumb, which is the base, one of the most important parts for texture, of our beautiful, we're going to, a mini citrus tart. I mean, we're going to use some Clover Classic custard. It's going to be good. So melted butter goes in there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, however you want to break down your biscuits is fine. You know, you can use whatever biscuits you want as well. Some people like the gingery stuff.
Ooh, that's
Some people
me.
like the shortbread stuff.
Oh, that's also me.
Okay, well, there there we go. I mean, I also love shortbread, as you can see. Right, now, moving...
Well, you're a shortbread.
And you are my Romani cream.
Oh.
Right, yes, okay. Right, so here we go. I'm make a little paste, and this is my stabilizer for this tart. Now, the paste over here, I'm gonna use some corn flour and some malted butter. I'm gonna pour them in, and I want you to just make a nice little paste out of it, because that's gonna go as we heat up the other little ingredients that I'll tell you about in a second. So, here's your pasty for Mr. Wasty. Yes, he was about to.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not tasty this time, but it's a pasty.
But it will be tasty.
Indeed, it will.
Made by Wasty.
That's right. Don't face me. Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Here it is. So there. It's right there. Paste is made. Now
so
I want to heat up
into our little jars or glasses like.
Yeah. So that's your base, and I mean you can choose what type of texture you want in the base. You can make it a thin base. You can make it a thick base. You can actually do some styles with it as well if you want to. Yeah, it's entirely up to you. What I'm going to do is, I mean, this is citrus. So I'm going to take a little bit of my orange juice over here, and then I'm going to do 1 cup of Clover Classic custard. And then I'm just going to heat it. I'm not going to do too much with it. It's just about the heating.
So when you heat it, I imagine that it softens up quite a lot.
That's the great thing about it. Once you've heated it and we've made sure that everything is bound together, then we're going to cool it. And then it's going to go into a piping bag. So while this is heating, I'm going to take this little bit of this. I made this earlier, little paste.
Yeah.
Pop it in there, and then I'm going to whisk it all in and let it incorporate.
Okay, cool. Well, you don't need much for this, and you can flavor these tartlets with any fruit or any citrus of your choice. Honestly, whatever you've got available at home. And if you want to make one large tart for the whole family, not just like one little one like this, just then set it in a large pie dish. It's as simple as that. But the same formula, the same format applies. Add some citrus zest for an extra zesty kick, because that's just what's going to make it special.
Exactly, and that's the thing about the zest that you can do. It's fantastic. So what I've done is, that's going to be sitting up over there, and it's going to be stabilizing, but magic of TV, I made one earlier.
Oh.
You want to get that, and what it does, that's corn flour is stabilizing the entire thing. So you've got all of those things in here, and all you have to do from here is do the piping. And this is where you can get the kids involved. People who don't think they can cook can also get involved in here, because
the piping is where you're really involved.
Exactly.
And introduce them.
And I like the theater of piping, because like you can really go crazy with it as well. Yeah. And while people are sitting down like, oh, what you making? You're like, no, I'm going to do this nice little tart for you. And I'm going to do that little thing, and you can...
And it's difficult. Just say to them, it's really hard to make this for you guys. I work so hard to give you the best dessert. But
and essentially what you are doing is just making sure that, you're giving a little theater to the table. And and all you do, that just sits. Yeah. You can do it overnight. You can do it for 2 hours.
If you didn't want to pipe it like how Carl Wasty has done, because I mean he's very theatrical, as we've seen with this particular one. Honestly, you can just pour that custard into your glasses like this. Okay.
Show me.
If you take a look at this, like I did this when I arrived at 4 a.m. this morning.
Fantastic. Also, did you bring those glasses from home?
No.
Okay.
I found them here, but I did this. Look at this. You just put that in there, and then throw in some of the biscuits just for the look, so that it's picture-worthy. And then you add some of your citrus in there to seal the
and that's it. Some of the crumb at the bottom, the citrus. And I want you to give me a one word that comes to mind when you taste the beautiful mini citrus tart.
There are no words. It's like...
Gorgeous, eh?
It goes into your mouth, you don't want to say anything else.
And that's the beautiful thing. So if you want to shut anybody up, but in a good way, this is what you do in your home. And if you want to get the recipe and this beautiful thing, just go to expressoshow.com. Also stand by, because something equally as zesty is Jamie Lee with our special guest getting a purple haircut.
Purple?
Purple, my friend.
Oh,
purple.
Jamie, look at that.
All right, look at so it's looking good so far. I'm liking that. The color is vibrant. It accentuates Jamie Lee's personality. And I think this is going to be absolutely sensational. So we'll make sure that we reveal that to you a little later. But for now, expressoshow.com, grab the recipe and prove to yourself that you can make something sensational.
And that is the word. I was going to say, sensational is that one word for this.
Indeed.
Oh, I love it.
A healthier you starts with you and your plate. Join us on a nourishing journey by entering to be on SABC2's new show, Color Your Plate with Koo. To be part of the show, buy any 3 Koo products and send Koo5 a day to 072-741-5357 on WhatsApp. Follow the steps to load a picture of your colorful meal served and stand to win prizes valued at 500,000 rands with Koo. Koo, uzotwala.
Welcome back to the show. We are back with our animal whisperer, if you will. Karis Nafthu is here to help us at least try to understand some of the strange things that our cats do, and maybe even bust one or two of those big cat myths and hopefully find a home for these amazing kittens.
I'm busy holding Charlie right now.
Oh, Charlie is
I think Charlie wants to come home with me.
Yeah, see, this is how it happened with Honey and I. I got chosen by the cat and I ended up having to just do it.
Oh, I'm in my element. I love cats. They are so special, but they're also so quirky. What is it about cats and tiny spaces and boxes? Like, I've bought Navy, my cat, the coolest toys, and then she'll just plonk herself in the box.
In the box, I know. You can buy a bed and they just go in a paper sack. That's all.
What is it about that?
So if you think about animals, domestic animals, they still have their wild roots. So in nature, if you were a hunter like a cat, they want to, first of all, keep themselves safe from being attacked by other animals, which can happen, and they want to hunt whenever they have the opportunity. So if they go in a little box, like a safe place, nothing can grab them from behind. So in other words, they can't get attacked by an unknown bigger predator. And if anything walks in front of them, they can grab it. So going in those little boxes makes them sleep calmly because they feel very safe and protected, and they're ready to grab. Like, have you ever noticed if a cat goes under your bed and you walk by, they love to go and grab your feet?
Just the paw. Yeah.
That's that hunting instinct of I'm hidden and you can't see me and I'm going to grab you.
The long arm of the law.
Yeah.
It's the cutest.
Save all your cardboard boxes. They love, that's the best.
They do love it.
And I think it's also because they can get that sound. Like you talk about the zooms that in the box. I love that. So you talk about hunting, and we've touched on the fact that the cats are incredible hunters, and this often means then that we get brought these. If you've got a cat that roams or does go outside, you will be brought these trophies, if you will, of dead or sometimes alive, half-eaten. Why do cats bring us their...
The treasures. I call them treasures. They do it because they love you. So you should be flattered, even if you find it a little bit distasteful.
Yeah.
So if we go back again to the wild, when a mother cat has kittens, the way that she teaches her kittens to hunt is she will bring them kind of half-dead little prey animals to play with, either dead, so that they get confident learning to, I mean, it sounds gruesome, but how to kill something that's nature, that's at nature. So even though you are not a kitten, if your cat cares about you and really sees the house as their house, their instinct says, I should bring home little things so that the family can play with them.
So are we actually insulting our cat by not playing with a half-dead mouse?
Exactly.
Okay.
You should bat it around and say, wow, look what we did.
Well
Oh, that is sweet. I'm convinced my cat was a dog in her previous life because she loves to play fetch. And her new obsession is pieces of paper. What is it about them, like especially toys are now for her, the balls of paper, to go and throw it in their water bowl or put it by their food bowl?
So they like to keep, so cats, like with dead animals, they often like to make little piles of treasures. So some cats, which is cute, if they don't kill actual animals, they'll bring you leaves or a piece of dirt, and they always tend to put it in a pile. So if there's a space that seems valuable to them, they'll kind of hoard it all so they know where it is for next time. Okay. It's like a kid with a toy box.
So it's a keep safe space.
Yes, yeah.
Because I used to be so fascinated finding all her toys in her water bowl or in her food bowl.
Then she knows where they are for next time.
As Charlie is catching a chill.
So this is what we were saying in the break, that do you see how nice and slowly Zoe's petting little Charlie here?
Using my right thumb at the moment, just gently.
If you want a cat and a dog to calm down, you should pet them slowly. Okay, so if my hand was a cat, if you pet a cat like this,
you can just get them riled up,
If you want them to go to sleep, you see, we've hypnotized little Charlie. Pet very, very slow and only with the direction of a cat's fur. Never go backwards. They don't really enjoy that very much.
Except for the chin, when you scratch the chin.
Yeah, the chin is fine.
So we've got some great comments coming through, it seems, from you guys at home. Let's take a look at what you had to say. William posted a beautiful picture. It seems that the little ginger and white cats are the flavour of the day. He is just adorable. Just look at those eyes. Absolutely beautiful, man. And then, good morning, Colleen. She's also weighed in, and she says, good morning, family. Good morning right back at you. I can't quite see the comment there. Our only cat, Tom, is only a few months old. How many, this is an interesting one. How many times a week or / month do I wash my cat? Do we need to be washing our cats?
That's an excellent question. Unless your cat has rolled in something greasy
Nasty.
or really kind of unhealthy, you don't actually need to wash your cat. If you have a cat that's got very, very long hair, like a Persian cat, then you do have to do a little bit more maintenance in terms of actually washing it. But normal short-haired cats, like Charlie here, they really don't need to be washed unless, like, they fall into some horrible, unusual something.
Yeah.
What you can do is brush them. If you've got a lot of cat hair around the house, there's nice cat brushes that will help shed them. That's the best way to let them keep themselves clean.
And then, is it okay? Because my little kitty cat, she hates her carrier box, and I often, when I go on weekends away, she tags along. I got a little harness, and I feel like people judge me for having my
I just
cat on a
remember
little harness.
the first time I saw it, it looked like a little black octopus.
I didn't realize the cat wasn't walking, so I was dragging it. But it's harnesses are fine for cats, right? Because now I carry her. The harness is more just of a
safety
if she had to
precaution,
jump out of my arms, I know she won't run away.
Yeah. So in that situation, absolutely use a harness, because if a cat is in a place they don't know, if they get a fright and they jump out of your arms, you don't want to lose them. No. So they don't generally enjoy them. The best thing is to put it on your cat kind of regularly, just for real short. Get them used to it. Most cats sort of do octopus.
What is that little paw?
But definitely for safety, absolutely use it. Yeah, 100%. Don't feel judged. It's okay. Take care of your cat.
I feel like Charlie needs to come home with me, but she needs a home. Please, if you have space in your heart and your home, she is beautiful and so loving.
And if you need someone with a little bit of feistiness and a little bit of heart, Alpha is waiting to get a home. We'll have all the details for Tears as well. Thank you so much. It's been really revealing, and I think you can see that this is a cat lover's haven right over here. Hopefully we've answered some of your questions and conundrums. And here's the thing, is we want to make sure that you are looking after your pet in the optimal way. And if you want to go to petheaven.co.za, they will be able to give you all of the support that you need. Look at that face, man.
She's gorgeous.
You know what? I feel like that entire session was quite a catalyst for something really that allows me to... I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm feline myself. And I just want to make sure that you get exactly... This is going to be a meowful of action. As much as we love to sit back and enjoy your tea every now and then, we also love to spill the tea, like Uncle Tubsy. It's going to happen. And we are just about to do just that in another round of Would You Rather. And warning, today's one is spicy, which is why I got two very, very good candidates for Would You Rather today. This is going to be great. We do have the two very talented. We got Carla Conrad, who has been entertaining us, and we'll do another song by Post Malone later.
Oh, you're
and
talented.
Then Uncle Tubsy, right? Very talented. Honesty. But here it goes. So the scenario is as follows. Stand by for this, and thank you so much for commenting on social media as well. You can continue commenting, you know, amongst yourselves at the moment. But here it goes. It is Would You Rather, all right? The scenario is this. You catch your best friend's partner out with someone else. Would you rather, A, all right, approach the cheater and ask, hey, what's up? Or B, do nothing, but go back and tell your friend what you saw.
Yeah, no, first, so let's start
okay, so
with
Carla,
you,
ladies
Carla.
first. In that scenario, which one do you think you go for? Who would you rather?
I go, say, what's up?
Do you say say?
She says say. I like that. We would approach it that way. Say.
Say.
Hey. Approach the cheater.
It's my best friend, and if it's a guy, her boyfriend, and I'm like, hey, what?
I would literally also walk up to the guy and go, well, what do we have here?
You.
And then
it's going to be like, what? It's my work colleague.
You must explain the story, and if it's compelling enough, the reason, then I won't go and tell my friend. But if the story is a bit swak around the edges, then you better know it's going to be a public protector's report.
So if it's swak, you will go take from there, right? Like Carla said.
Only Carla.
Oh, okay, let's take a look at social media for a second and find out what you had to say. Let's go over here. So we got Priyona Naidu that says, I would choose B, but would have secretly taken pictures of them as proof. Look at this, cheaters. I could even video call my friend. Sometimes love does weird things to people. If I confronted him, I would have given him the heads up, and he would try to wiggle his way out of the situation, manipulating his love and our friendship. I've seen that happen.
Yo, Priyana sounds like she has gone through this a lot of times. Priyana, you're a queen. We got another one from Charlene Dutour, who says, hey, this happened to me, and I know the feeling when someone came to you telling you about your partner and his or her cheating. So, it's not nice feeling. So I'd rather grab the bull by his or her horn and turn the cheating habit out of them both.
Oh, my word. Okay. And Teresa's saying if you are very good friends with one another, you don't need proof if you tell her what you saw. And then Frank B, tell my friend, and up to him for what he must do next.
What's Waleed saying there, Carla?
Because best friend are bro for life.
Yes. And we know the saying as it goes, bros before hoes. Moes.
That's correct. Sometimes this happens. Would you rather say that word on TV or not? That's another session completely. But moving along swiftly, this is... Thank you a lot to Carla and Uncle Tabsi. One thing we do love is our rusks and the risks we take. And you might be the one to take home an Omar Rusk Samper and 1,000 Rand in cash. To find out if you are this week's lucky winner, make sure to catch the announcement tomorrow morning. And we'll be right here with the good news just for you. I hope it's you. I really am.
Say.
Anytime is dipping time when it's with the ones you love.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso. We're live here on S3. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. You have chosen to wake up with us. Well done. Thank you so much for inviting us into your homes. Good choice. Now listen to this. Great news. The Taste Master SA is back.
Yeah,
and this time around, it's the baking edition. Oh, yes, get those pans and the flour out. It promises to be yet another sensational series of good food and incredible prizes not to be missed for the ultimate winner. Now, the previous season's winner, Chef Tumi Mokhwa, recently walked away with the Lux Restaurant Award for Rising Star. Her star is indeed shining bright like a diamond. And we have Tumi in studio this morning to chat more about her experience.
Does this go everywhere with you now?
Yeah.
Everywhere. I do not even open doors. I just present the award and everything else happens.
So it's in the back of your window in your car when you're driving in traffic?
Standard.
Because it's the continuation of your path, your trajectory, if you will. So congratulations once again, obviously. And you looked so glamorous and gorgeous. I mean, you always look a little glam now. Okay.
These days.
You're very TV ready all the time, it seems, because you spend so much time on camera. But this has got to be great validation for a journey that started in humble beginnings in terms of where every chef's journey begins. But did you ever think it would get to this kind of point when that vision was there in the beginning? If you look at where you're at now and winning awards like this, how does it feel and how has that vision changed?
I mean, over the years, I mean, as you do whatever you do, you always feel like, I'm going to get there, I'm going to get there. You just don't expect it to happen so soon. You think that, you know, people tell you about people have been in the industry for 10 years and now they're a rising star. Or someone has been a newcomer. You're like, oh, so this is what it means. So, and then you expect that. You expect that it's going to happen after 10 years, after 15 years. And it's literally been just a couple of years in the TV industry and already I've been recognized. So it's a feeling that I'm still getting used to, you know? Like you say, I walk out everywhere with my award.
Yeah, man, own that.
And there's a lot to get used to as well. I mean, I think that the opportunity that the Tastemaster show or platform sort of gave you really has had you see some really interesting things and get you, or rather gotten you into some interesting spaces. What are some of the highlight things that you sort of like look back and you go, wow, since Tastemaster season 1, this has happened, that has happened, this has happened.
To be honest, one of the biggest things for me was meeting and working with, and yes, I make a joke of it every time about how he's my crush, but working with Gregory Zarnicki, he's for me one of the greatest minds in the culinary industry, someone who is able to take food and make it look like art, you know, being able to work and be mentored by him, you know, in that Tastemaster edition, but also being able to get onto the show, and yes, I get emotional every time, but being able to get onto the show and work with my mom, you know, having her on the show, having my son on the show, things like that, meeting great chefs who, you know, are so great at what they do, who love what they do so much, and being able to experience it one-on-one. Most times we see them either on TV or you see them in their kitchen there and working like crazy, and you think to yourself, one day, and the one day comes, you know.
You get to, and I think it's the same for us. It's those people that you meet. I mean, that becomes your addiction, is connecting to these amazing people. If I can cast your mind back to the season, in the throes of it all, I love the fact that I got to narrate a large portion of it. So I kind of got a sneak peek of what was going down each week, and it was crazy what they put you poor people through. It was insane. But good, like, make you earn it, man. If you're going to get such a cool prize, you must earn it. What were some of your favorite moments of the actual show itself?
To be honest, working with the people like the Alex Shemaine, yes, we had a bit of a rivalry, myself and Alex, but also it was a rivalry that helped you, that pushed you to become a better, you know, competitor. But also, I had never been out of the country before Tastemaster, and I got the chance to travel to Belgium. I then had to rush and get a passport, and I got the first stamp. I was like, oh my God! I can officially say that I've been overseas.
And you did some cool stuff while you were there as well.
We learned so much as well.
We learned so much, you know, stuff like that. So anyone that actually wants to grow their career, this is the platform for them. You know, if you're thinking to yourself that I've been looking for that breakthrough, this could definitely be it. Because for me, so many of my personal dreams were able to be fulfilled through the Tastemaster SA.
It really does open your world up to so many exciting opportunities that change your life in the most magnificent way. But also, we know that entering any competition can be a very daunting and intimidating experience for someone sitting there at home and thinking, am I good enough? What are they going to need from me? What do I need to do? How do I put my entry together? What's your advice, tips that you can share with everyone out there who wants to enter for season 2? What should they be doing?
My advice would be, go for it. You know, the one thing we like to do as people, we like to overanalyze things. You want to break it down and do this and do this and do that. The best thing you can do for yourself is just do it, you know? That cake that you've always wanted to bake it, put it out there. Whatever it is that you've been wanting to do it. Because the one thing you don't want is to look back 10 years from now and say, I should have, you know? That could have been that one chance. Rather do it. I always say fall forward.
Yes.
That's my thing. Fall forward.
And if it doesn't work out this year, then you enter next year and you keep going and you keep going. How did you win that competition? What advice can you offer that person who's like, I'm going to get in there, I'm going to win it? Because you clearly had the drive. You're quite a competitive person. How do they win this thing?
I think just stay true to yourself. That's the biggest thing, because the best thing is looking at everything and being able to stand out and say, I did it because I was being myself. I was not trying to be Tabiso or Graham. I was trying to be myself, and that's how I won. That's the biggest and best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Swang swang le moneng ke re ngwana o tshwere di awate. Thank you so much, Dumi, for that. Congratulations on all of your success. Of course, you at home do now have the opportunity to be next, potentially. So if you are passionate about baking and you want to become the next South African baking influencer, and it really can happen, go on to tastemaster.co.za and enter now.
Chumi, 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 chumi.
If you eat, sleep, and dream of baking, enter for the Tastemaster SA's new season starting in August on SABC2. Grow your career in TV and as a baking influencer and stand to win 50,000 rands worth of prizes. To apply to compete on the show, share a video of you baking a wonder you've created with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Upload your video and complete your application on the tastemaster.co.za website. Entries close Wednesday, 7th July. T's and C's apply.
Oh, and just listening to the Tastemaster coming back, of course, we are now spending time in the kitchen, and it's time for you to feast your eyes on this fudgy chocolate cake. It has layers, it is fudgy, it is rich, but also so easy to make. And I'm talking about chocolate ganache icing for the win. And this is all in a world of perfection, if you ask me. And the perfect way to really celebrate the Woolies Lindt Chocolate Festival is by talking about chocolate and asking Teresa to come and make us this double-layered chocolate fudgy goodness cake that you're about to make for us.
So decadent, so amazing.
Yes. And I mean, I love, so we've got the cake all ready for us. It's cooled down, it's sliced into two, and now we're going to have some fun and really just decorate.
Oh, can't wait, can't wait. But let me show you how to make this cake, how to get there. So I'm going to ask you to mix our dry ingredients.
I'll mix the dry ingredients.
Some flour, some baking powder, some bicarb, some salt and some cocoa.
There we go.
So very standard pantry ingredients. I'm going to whisk 2 eggs into our caster sugar.
There we go.
And you know, with school holidays coming up, it's also a lovely activity for the kids, especially when it's raining.
Yes, and you know what? That was something we used to do often, is just bake, have like, there were
So
always
nice.
sweet treats in the house.
know.
And even when I was an au pair, that was like the one activity I would always do with the kids, is
They
make
love
cakes
it.
and cupcakes.
I have so many memories of cooking as a child, and it's just, I think it put me on this path, actually.
Yes.
So I've whisked our sugar with our eggs and a bit of canola oil.
There we go, and I've got our dry ingredients here for
Lovely.
you. Put it there.
Perfect. So I'm going to mix that in here.
And you know what? I'm really excited about the Woolies Chocolate Festival, because if you look at this, there is... Oh, this is incredible. You can get 30% off any 3 Lindt or selected Woolies chocolates. And when I say selected Woolies chocolates, you can get off it. It includes the Lindt chocolates, the Woolworths chocolate boxes, the Chuckles, the Fantastical range, as well as the De Villiers milk and dark chocolate slabs. That's all part of the chocolate festival. So you get 30% off any 3 or selected Woolies chocolates, which is incredible.
Amazing.
And any chocoholics heaven. I mean, that's my kind of
That's
festival.
me. Well, we were talking about the chuckles just now, and
I'm
my
yet
gosh.
to meet a person that has self-control around chuckles. That is
Not me,
something
not me.
I can chomp down in one go. I'm seeing them here, and I'm trying to behave.
I know.
Because it is for our final
You have to save them for the cake, I
There
know.
we
Well,
go.
you have to taste 1 or 2, I think, just to check.
Yeah, you just have to check. I mean, they're always perfect. You just have to remind yourself.
I know. So what I've done is I've just whisked the dry ingredients into the wet. I've added a bit of milk, and then I'm going to add some water. It is going to be quite a runny batter, but don't worry, that's all how it's supposed to be.
So this runny batter, is it also going to give you that moist cake that everyone loves? that
Moist and
extra-
light, really, really lovely. You can also use an electric beater for this. I'm doing it the
And a bigger bowl.
old-fashioned way. I'm trying not to mess. But you're going to whisk that until it's smooth, pop it into your cake tin, and then bake it for about 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So once it comes out of the oven, you obviously want to make sure it's nice and cooled down.
Yes.
It is amazing. And what's cool, really cool about the Woolies Chocolate Difference message is by supporting Woolworths responsibly sourced cocoa products, we are also able to increase the positive impact on the cocoa farmers and their families while helping to protect nature. So, you know, you're eating chocolate with a purpose. You're eating chocolate for good.
You can enjoy a
You're
treat
saving
and
the
feel good about
environment.
yourself.
Yes.
Do it.
There we go. Oh, that looks amazing. I'm assuming that batter is for me to try later.
You can absolutely, we can lick the bowl.
And now we're getting over to our chocolate ganache.
Now we're doing our ganache, yes. So what I'm going to do is put some cream into the pot. And you want to bring this just to boiling point. You don't want to boil it.
You just want
get
warm
it
enough before the boil.
Yeah, yeah. Because basically what you're going to do is heat that up, chop up your chocolate, and we're using our Lindt 70%, which I always use for my ganache.
I always have that at home. I once made the mistake of buying I think it was a 90%,
yes.
and that was intense. But it was so good. You have one block and your craving is curbed.
That's it, that's it. And especially if you're pairing it with a sweet cake or anything sweet, it just kind of offsets that and balances it out. So what you can do is chop up your Lindt, heat up your cream, and then you pour the cream over the chocolate, and the heat will actually melt it.
There we go.
Whisk it, and you'll get a beautiful, smooth ganache. So I'm actually just going to put some of this into our hot cream.
There we go.
And I'll resist the urge to snack on it.
Taste some, yeah. That's something I would do. I mean, this is just amazing. And of course, if you've missed it, we have this recipe available for you. You can find it on woolworths.co.za. And don't forget that Woolies currently have their chocolate festival where you get 30% off any 3 selected Woolies or Lindt chocolates. And you can also then go stock up on your chockies, make this delicious cake that's available at woolworths.co.za. And I feel like Chef Teresa, we have to cut that cake.
Yes, and I'm going to start decorating this one.
There we go. So then you just pop your chocolate ganache on it.
Shall I pass you the other one?
I'm going to just walk over, slice the cake.
Yum. Oh, it looks so good.
And this is the... Oh, look at that. Soft, soft, soft. This is how you do a cake.
Looks amazing.
There we go. I've sliced it. Now we're going to scoop it. I'm doing this with one hand, which is such a risk. But look at this amazing cake.
Yeah,
you see those delicious layers. And of course, I'm going to save this piece for Jamie. She has, we're going to be revealing her hair pretty soon. Oh. And Chef Teresa, thank you so much for joining us today. And this is breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
If a cozy winter blanket brings a glow to your face, it's a lifesaver for children and families in need. So partner with us and Game to help Gift of the Givers and the Homestead Project for Street Children wrap a new blanket around every cold set of shoulders that we can. Donate to any new blanket in collection boxes at select Game stores nationwide up until the end of June. And obviously with COVID-19 regulations meaning only new ones are accepted, each blanket is going to be a treasure to someone.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3, and I know you've been waiting for this. Jamie Lee and purple hair. Can you imagine it? Can you touch it and feel it? You're about to, because here she is. Ladies and gentlemen, the new you.
Hey,
yes, girlfriend.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
I think it looks absolutely incredible.
Thank you so
honestly.
much. Shout out to Brash by Nazir. He did all of this. But thank you to you, the viewers, for choosing this color, purple. Who knew?
It's really great. It actually goes well with the song.
Yes.
Because I think while people will be trying to roll in your circles, someone's about to do that song by Post Malone. But let me do it a proper introduction here. A big thank you to our singer and songwriter, Carla Conrad, for gracing us with her presence. It's been absolutely phenomenal this morning, and make sure to follow her on social media and download her music on all major streaming platforms. Winter's Lane available now. But to close the show, Carla will be taking on a smash hit by this American rapper and singer. His name is Post Malone. The song's called Circles, released in 2019 and ready for you on your Feel Good Breakfast show. So here's Carla Conrad with a track that is perfect for your post toasties. It's Posty, Circles by Carla Conrad. Enjoy.
Couldn't turn it around. We were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now, but no, I ain't too proud. I couldn't be there, even when I try. You don't believe it. We do this every time. Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flames, cause we can't let it go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, I dare you to do something. I'm waiting on you again, so I don't take the blame. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, let go. I got a feeling that it's time to let it go. I say so. I knew that this was due from the get-go. You thought that it was special, but it was just the sex though, and I still hear the echoes. I got a feeling that it's time to let it go. Let it go. Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flames, cause we can't let it go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, I dare you to do something. I'm waiting on you.
Whether you're saying thank you or we believe in you, nothing says it quite like a home-cooked favorite. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Let it go.